more about you as a player. Forward me your OpenGG. We start off there, and from then we go into the votes.
Myself as a player, like
Oh, just like
what I think.
how long have you been playing for? What are your goals? I think that's very important, so we can align them more correctly with your, I guess, how you're structuring going towards that. And yeah, that's how I can just get a better picture.
Yeah, okay. I've been playing since 2020. I peaked Masters 121 LP, and I suppose my goal is to hit rank 1, become the best.
Okay, that's good. So you have a high goal in mind.
Yeah.
I see. So you picked master here.
Yeah.
I'm then surprised to see your current, well, both win rate and stats. So what do you feel like is going wrong for you right now?
I think what's going wrong for me right now, I honestly don't know how I hit Masters before because I feel like I didn't have much matchup knowledge. I sort of just hit it on like mechanics and because Ravenous Hydra was so broken.
I see. So yeah, old Revenants with Eclipse, so like pre-mythic removal.
Yeah, that's right. So you should just do like Ravenous every game and just win, and it didn't matter what the matchup was. But now I've what I've been doing after every game is I've been like, or like every night I'll try to like thoroughly review one matchup, and then I'll try to like sort of solidify it as like a permanent memory in my head, like remembering how to play that matchup. So I think I'm a bit iffy on matchups for sure.
Okay.
But like I don't know, sometimes I'm a little bit undisciplined in my gameplay as well. Like for example, Aatrox matchup, like I know that matchup quite well. But as you can see, I went 4-12 in a recent game 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Which was just purely just disrespecting him.
Okay.
So yeah, I think I can be a lot very undisciplined sometimes as well.
If I can ask you a straight up question, out of 10, how often would you say you're winning lane? Give or take.
I think I win lane like almost every game.
Okay, so that's very surprising
think,
to hear that. Kind of goes opposite to what you've been saying, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then you're saying you struggle with matchups, but your laning phase, if you're nearly winning every laning phase, that means you're doing a lot of stuff correct. Is it then your transition from a winning laning phase that leads into you not being able to carry games? Because when I see your stats like this, first thing I look at is your high death average. And then my question is, are your deaths coming from laning phase or are they coming from mid to late?
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a mix of both. Like sometimes I'll have a game where like I play the laning phase perfectly. Not perfectly, but like I won't die. I'll very low deaths in laning phase. And then like mid to late I'll die like a bunch because I'm trying to like salvage a bad game or something like that.
I see. So it's
I sort of
yeah.
don't really care about my deaths at that point because I'm just trying to make a play that wins us the game or something that can salvage.
That makes sense, but that doesn't lead to 6 deaths on average. Like, you're gonna have some games where you need to go for a lot more risky plays, absolutely. I would say that's gonna be like 20, maybe 30% of your games. But 6 deaths is very high. And that's also paired with a relatively low CS number for me. Riven is a champion that is very feast or famine, right? You need high resource income. If you are even with enemy champion, very often it's not a good position for you to be in. Riven is really snowball reliant. She does have a good scaling, but it's, again, dependent on the comp you're playing against. So for example, if you're playing into this comp, you would scale extremely well. But into some other comps like here, you'd probably struggle a lot more because they have like undodgeable CC, Garen skills really well, Zeri's hard to catch, those kind of things.
Yeah.
So your high death goes hand in hand with lower farm. That's like very easy to spot. Your 6 kills average is good. So that tells me that yes, you probably are winning your lane a lot of the times, but it's hard for me to judge you as a player right now because, well, your win rate is negative, and if you're saying you're winning lane almost every time, I don't expect your win rate to ever be negative. That is simply because you can't always be winning lane and losing the games. Unless you're the most unlucky player that is known to mankind. And also here, right, 10 struggle, but then you also have these insane games where you 10-1 and you 1v9. And here I see you have a good matchup into Sion, you have 10 CS per minute, you 1v9. There was another one against the Nasus that I saw, I think, where, yeah, here, 10 CS per minute. So you see, you have the amazing games, but I feel like right now, what I'm looking at, it's very hit or miss.
Okay.
That's just from looking at your recent history, right?
Yeah.
So then what would you say is your biggest downfall as a player?
I think my biggest downfall is I think I'd probably have to say discipline.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's a very weird line for me between should I be sort of I suppose limit testing here, or should I just be really disciplined? And I think sometimes I'll like have like an idea of how I'm supposed to play the game in my head, but then I'll sort of like I'll adjust it up like way too much and like sort of lose the original purpose.
I see. I don't think
Um,
you're lacking discipline, and I think you're lacking structure, and I also think you're lacking how to say this? Perhaps confidence in yourself to carry a game if you stick to a plan. So you're trying to salvage a lot,
okay.
which leads to high deaths,
Yeah,
or you're trying
I think
to. That's what it sounds like.
yeah.
So you're perhaps
Sometimes I don't have a
overthink.
lot of confidence in my plan.
Sorry.
Sometimes I don't have a lot of confidence in my plan. I sort of have found out that like usually when I stick to it, I get further, but it feels very uncomfortable sticking to what I
I see.
like
So
predetermine is correct.
so are you then a player that when your teammates make a call, you follow it blindly, regardless if it's good for you or not?
I I think that's accurate. Like I at one point just disabled pings altogether just because like I sort of get like influenced a lot too much. Like for example, I want to start my laning phase in the middle bush, and then my jungler starts like spam pinging to come help him
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
And I'll sort of start rotating and then I'll lose my position and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm
It's
getting a
like
better, clear image. What about side lane management? Are you very assertive in which side lanes you want, or are you adjusting to your teammates regardless if you're the win condition or not?
um I think usually with my side lanes I try to like call it a lot in advance. Like I'll try to like ping it or say I'm going this lane or I'll sometimes like I'll type in chat like exactly what we need to do.
Yeah,
Like I'll go bot lane, I have TP, we can do this, or I need to go top lane, you have TP, so that we can get the
yeah,
Baron, like
yeah. That's
things like
good.
that.
Okay,
I'll try to like sort of micromanage a bit.
that's good because I need you, especially when you're playing Riven. You need to be assertive and you need to have confidence in yourself that when you get the resource, you're gonna be able to carry the game. And that also means, of course, sticking to your plan and not refraining, like basically straying in too many different paths. Having that confidence and working on that structure. Because if you're winning lane and you like if I'm in a position where I am playing Riven and I am ahead of the curve in terms of items, EXP, and I'm ahead of my opponent, and I win both sides, I'm not going to carry the game 90% of the time because Riven is such a disgusting champion to deal with from ahead. So if you're saying you're winning late a lot of the times, I'm not saying you aren't, right? I'm just following your words here. If we learn to just
Yeah.
structure that better and play to basically start carrying games, you're going to be in a much better position. So I think I have a somewhat clear image of you now as a player. I'm very curious to see your VODs. Are we gonna go just in laning phase, or or do you want to watch a full VOD instead as well?
Whatever you really think.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah,
you can determine the degree of how
yeah,
the game's going.
yeah, that's
But I
fair.
did send you full games, I believe.
Yeah. So, do you have any preference on a VOD to start with? Just whatever you feel like. Okay, this would probably most accurately describe the things we just talked about.
Um,
I think a full VOD would be helpful. Also, seeing how you play from a winning laning phase.
maybe the Riven versus Poppy lose, but I also want to have a look at Riven versus Jax. I
Win.
think Riven versus Jax is more so that Riven versus Jax,
Yeah.
I think it's more of a I think I played it correctly, but I want your opinion on it.
Okay.
Um,
Let me see the
because
game.
I think it was relatively clean, but I think you could probably have like a second opinion on that.
Sure.
And the Riven versus Poppy, I think it's good to look at
Where is that
as
one?
well.
I want to find your open GG. This
Riven,
one. This one looks interesting
yeah,
to me.
that'll be that
Okay. We're gonna. Let me start with this one. Were you winning lane?
one. Yes, I was
Okay.
winning lane.
Then I want to see this one first. Okay. So what is going through your mind when loading into the game here?
When loading into the game, I see Poppy Nocturne versus Hecarim Riven. I understand that Nocturne has Conqueror, my Hecarim has Phase Rush. That I have Conqueror Ignite against Poppy, who has Grasp Flash TP. I know that I have to be a bit careful of Poppy's level 1 because she's like a pretty heavy poke champion. But I do have a bit of like power, whereas like I can like sort of play around the bush and she can't all in me. And for the jungle or the 2v2 top lane, I believe that we lose it just because Poppy W can cancel Hecarim E dash and like pretty much zone me out, and that just gives Nocturne a lot of time to like auto us a bunch.
Well,
So
very
I'm gonna use
accurate.
the PvG part.
Very accurate. I think everything you said is exactly what I would say. The only thing is, as you stated, we could look for priority level 1, but it depends on how both of you execute it, right? That's also one thing that I always want to stay, like, can we look for priority level 1 in the general sense? And if we do, then, yeah, how do we play it, right? I want you to check her starting item here, perhaps. She's not playing with Sorcery. Some poppies would go Sorcery with Scorch, which just make it even harder. Oh, this is going to be good for you. Oh, she's dead. You just commit here, she's dead. Why'd you kill her? Surely you kill her.
I was sort of just waiting for my cooldown.
Yeah. I think you don't... Yeah, I just don't think... See, the thing is, what I would do here in your shoes is keep my Conqueror up. Okay, you do end up keeping it up.
Yeah.
I think the
so
second she steps here...
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, no, you did it fine. You did it completely fine.
That's why I went for that auto when she had the shield, because I was trying to keep Conqueror up.
Yeah, very good. You get the first blood. I agree that you should stay. And that's because else you're going to lose too much HP. So how do you want to adapt from this position now? What is, like, your mindset?
My mindset is to basically get this wave in, be healthy enough that she can't punish me, and then once I get this wave in, I want to reset and spend my gold.
There you go. So we want to look for an early game reset. We don't need anything else. Looks like Poppy didn't TP. I would be checking for that right now. You are. So if Poppy's not TPing, you're not hitting this wave.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, she didn't TP, which I thought was like pretty weird.
Yeah, it's a terrible play, but I mean, the level 1 was already terrible by her. You should never push here this hard, because now she's not losing anything. Look, you just gave her a free ride back to lane. Right? Yeah, you're 100% right. She should 100% of the time TP there, but if she isn't, then you gotta adapt accordingly as well. It's still good.
Yeah,
your plan is still established here, so you get the early game crash, but oh, she held it, and we didn't get the crash in. So now you're in a somewhat awkward position. I think here you just try to... Oh, we gotta trade him? Oh no, she just held the wave. Okay, you get your level 3, you try to get it in. Okay, so this is a super tricky scenario. You do get the ward down. There's multiple things you can do here. You can try to kind of min-max, so you just get in as much as you can, get into turn and set up your reset. So here, I don't know why we're playing so scared.
I think I was sort of playing around that ward a bit more.
Yeah, but you don't see
what...
anybody. It's a hack Karim. If he does a level 3 top lane gank, so it's a Nocturne. He should have been here right now. He's either here right now or he's coming towards you. But if he's not here right now, you've got to establish his position. So the thing is, the way you can more accurately track that is if you're scared of a level 3 gank, which is what I assume you're scared of now, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Look at your jungler. He's already done these 3 camps. Do you think if this Nocturne was doing the same, he'd not be in your lane right now? He's on the 3rd wave. That's the gank timer. So if he's not here right now, then you push. If he's here right now, well, then you could have seen him. You're playing accurately. You're just playing a little too safe here. I understand it. It's just a mentality thing that you can swap for the future, because the faster we get this wave in, we can reset before this wave. You've had the chance to get this in now, twice. So you're just respecting too much here, for nothing. Right? And now that leads to you delaying this. This guy's even... Oh, she might have W, I guess. That's what you're scared of.
I should have been autoing that melee, I think.
No, it's fine. I think right now you could even consider recalling. It's pushing towards you. So what I do here is probably get these 3 melees in sync with her. So one little trick you can do here is stand here and force her Q out so she hits your melees. And get 2 melees or even 3 and recall. Because Poppy has to push in this, like... So what I do in your shoes here to force out the recall is I'd stand here, bait the Poppy Q on your minions to equalize the health. You get the melees, you leave these casters alive, your casters are alive, you set up a reset either here or here. Just do it sneakily, because then she has to push out this still, and then you're back in time. You lose bare minimum.
Sure.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I just want to set up this reset because we're delaying it now, and now I dislike our position a lot more. Because our goal was to go for a reset. I feel like we kind of failed that now. Oh, you can kill her. She was dead here. She's no flash, remember? She just used W in her face. She's dead.
Yeah, okay.
You agree with me?
And then... Yeah, and I don't know why I used my W there. I should have just walked towards her. And
yeah. If you stand on top of her right now, what's the combo?
Yeah, so I W her, and then I wait for her W to expire. So I'm just like autoing her to death and sort of kiting up, because if she puts me towards the wall, she can escape. I
want to use W first. You're in melee range already, so what I do is I start autoing here. The second the W goes away, you Q, you auto Q, and then W, and then finish it off. Maybe even W into Q3 at once, so she like can't E or something, but this was a kill. But it's okay, you don't get the kill. Our main goal is still achievable here. Set up your recall, buddy. Like, now you can recall. You have to recall right now, though, because if you don't recall, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, then I have to be there for the fight with the Hecarim and the Nocturne.
Yeah, and that's the first thing. Let's say there's no skirmish that happens in Riven. What happens if we don't recall right now?
I'm stuck in lane because I have to play the bounce back.
Exactly. Right? So if you don't take it now, you're stuck.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's okay. And I'm getting rewarded. What's her play here? Okay, very good. You instantly ping it. Really, really good. Really, really, really good. Because she still has teleport.
and then I stop and try to crash it.
No, don't tell me you do. Oh, no, buddy. You did everything right. No, don't tell me you do this. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. Okay, you still get the reset. Oh, this purchase I dislike, though. So, a lot of options here. Epic items. Sorry?
Right. Ravenous, because Poppy's a poke champ, right?
No, I would never go Ravenous here. The reason, so my thought process with Ravenous, Poppy's not a poke champion, is you go Ravenous whenever you're playing against a matchup that is just there indeed to neutralize you and you can progress into, and when enemy team does not have a comp that can kind of force fight onto you. They have a Fizz, they have a Nocturne, I don't know what the support is, okay, Lulu, but I would never go Ravenous Hydra here. It would delay your core item spikes. You need Death Sense and Maul this game to be useful. So, I think Cleaver is okay to rush here, but since you're already ahead now, you've killed her once, you got another assist, you're snowballing, I'm fine going Eclipse, Summit Sky, Death Sense Maul.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Ravenous Hydra is a terrible item, in my opinion.
Yeah, gotcha. I've sort of been, I guess I shouldn't probably be following how, like, Azzy's building.
No.
Because I see him, like, build, like, Black Cleaver every game, but I assume the matchups are probably a lot more easy.
No, it's that because Korea plays completely different. When I was in Korea, I was going Black Cleaver every game with Teleport almost as well. They only play meta, and you need to min-max your resources. So what I do is you go Cleaver Death Stance, and with Cleaver Death Stance, you're able to 1v1 most people on sideline and still be useful in teamfight because you get every stat. You get ability haste, cooldown, health, armor, damage reduction, all that stuff, and then usually paired with mercs as well. So you get magic resist, armor penetration, ability haste, health, everything in 2 items with mercs. But that's because of Korea. You're playing a completely different game here in Diamond, Oceania. When I'm playing Master, Grandmaster, Challenger in EOS, it's also a different game to Challenger. So don't copy Azzy 101. Terrible. Other thing is, this purchase is, with a lack of better word, grief. And it's important to emphasize that because you just spent 1200 gold on what?
20 AD and
20 AD?
some movement speed.
And some movement speed. And 10 haste, right? And 10 ability haste. So what I would do... Yeah, and refillable. What I would do in your shoes here, could you try and correct this purchase? What would you build instead, perhaps? Can you think of some options?
Well, if I was going to be building Eclipse, maybe I would build just like 4 longswords or something. And
there's only 3 in there?
Yeah, maybe 3 longswords.
Okay, option. There's a pickaxe too, also option. What I would do in your shoes is 1100. Sorry?
Pickaxe doesn't build into Eclipse, does it?
It does, buddy.
Oh, okay.
What's the last time you built Eclipse? You build it every game. Are we playing the same game?
I build it like 3rd item, and I buy the full item.
You never rush it.
I don't really rush Eclipse.
Okay, well, we're gonna fix that up because that's probably what's going wrong with your gameplay for sure. So the purchase that I would do here is D-Blade and double longsword. Then we get 30 AD, it's already 10 more, right? You get, I believe it's 80 or 100 health. I believe it's 100, so you get 100 HP. And you get a bit of lifesteal, just way better stats than 20 AD and some movement speed.
Yeah, that does sound a lot better. Yeah, gotcha.
You can progress now. It's like you've gotten a lead, but you're still useless. Epic items, so components, are pretty much lackluster right now. You never really want to finish them because they've nerfed all of them. This is a kill again, by the way. That's because you've accumulated this, and if you continue here, you win. And the biggest reason as to why Well, especially if you have triple longsword deep blade. But you have 6 conqueror stacks already and your cooldowns. So and ignite here. So I would continue this fight right here.
Okay, gotcha.
Potion
just
on.
like Nimbus her.
W with ignite, you put it to 1 HP at least. Probably kill her as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, this is a good move. Okay, I feel like in those scenarios, I understand the way you've used your abilities. Boots actually ends up getting you the kill here. It's just that I would play as if he has flash, if you're uncertain.
Yeah, okay. So so I should just assume he has flash and
Yes,
sort of
yes,
hold
if you don't
that's
know. Just
Yeah,
a force of
it's-
habit. Okay, so another thing here is you gotta make a choice. Hard push this wave or slow push into hard push next. Make sense?
Yeah, I think my decision was to hard push it.
Okay, then you know what I would do in your shoes? This is an easy, quick fix. Is if you hard push this and you're scared of Poppy freezing, which is what you were, you know what you should do instead?
Yeah.
What should you do?
Should probably wait because that other wave's at my 3rd tower, and then I'll just get a free big crash.
Well, you could slow push into hard push. That's one option, right? Which is a very reliable option. What you could do instead as well, which is there's no counter to it, is hard push this and proxy next wave. You're in time.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then even if Poppy
Yeah.
freezes, she's freezing for nothing.
Yeah, okay. I actually have started doing that. I didn't know that was like a strategy, but I did find that it seemed to be quite effective against freezes.
Yeah, because the thing is right now you're stuck again, and now you hate your life, and I mean you reset. Oh man, this timer on. You have 1,000 gold and you buy 1080 and some health. You see how lackluster your purchases have been thus far.
Yeah.
Now you're snowballing on this guy. If you've gotten D-Blade, Call Feuds, Pickaxe right here, you one-shot this Poppy on every turn. Every time you see her, she's dead. So that's why my rule of thumb is, when snowballing, Eclipse first 100% of the time. If you go to my account, and that is here. Okay, I haven't played a lot of Riven. What's a better account? We go to... Okay. We're gonna go to this account, so because it's still very accurate. And you go to... It's probably Decade now. Just take a look at my builds here. You can copy almost every matchup. I mean, it sucks that it's not working. There we go. 60 Riven games should give you all the information you need. Eclipse first whenever I'm snowballing 100% of the time. If I go Eclipse first, very often I followed up with the Sunlit Sky into either Death Stance or Maul, depending on the comp, and then you're stable into almost everything. So there you go. That should help. I already see that itemization is a huge factor for you.
Yeah, gotcha. Maybe that's why Hydra was so OP, because you spilled all damage.
Sorry?
Maybe that's why I got so high when Hydra was so OP, because it's just long swords, right?
Yes, but the problem as well with the build with Hydra right now is you delay your core items, in the sense that if you go for a Ravenous Hydra in the current game state, it's just like you're missing out on other core items and you're playing on base HP when Hydra isn't close to as effective as it used to be.
Yeah, gotcha.
This all-in timer is good. Looks like a Nocturne might be here though. Now I wouldn't go for this. Do you know how much gold a Cannon Wave gives? Because the reason I wouldn't go for it... Okay, now you would have to. Nice. Okay, never mind, you got it. See, the risk to reward here to me is terrible. That's because... Oh, never mind, you see Nocturne Bolt. Never mind, you're completely fine. What you're doing here is perfect. Sorry?
Nocturne was dead.
Yeah,
Nocturne
no.
was dead.
Yeah, what you did here was absolutely perfect. I wouldn't overstay now. I believe she still has teleport. You have Cleaver in base now anyways. Now you're snowballing. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so what is our next item going to be this game?
Next item, I think inter comp, I like Sundered here maybe, or like a more of a damage. Yeah, I think Sundered probably looks the best to me here.
I would go Death Stance, and you're genuinely unstoppable.
Yeah. Okay.
Who would kill you if you go Death Stance?
Yeah, no one.
Nocturne is base AD damage, no true damage. Same with Twitch, same with Poppy. You also have damage reduction against the Fizz, and then I would probably pair that with a Merc threats, because Nocturne Fear, undodgeable, Poppy CC, undodgeable, Lulu CC, undodgeable, and then you go for Eclipse on the Sky.
So, from this position, would I sort of take very like risk-averse plays and try to get those spikes, or?
Well, so yes, that is 100% true. So when I look at this game state, if I'm in your shoes, so the way to put it one-on-one is right now you're probably, let's say, 2k gold ahead of this Poppy. 50, like 3 kills, 15 CS. That, I mean, we didn't get any plates, but you're, let's say, 2k gold up ahead on the Poppy, or let's say 1.5k gold up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you keep farming even for the remainder of the game, you are always going to be plus 1.5k gold on this Poppy. Very simple. I would also argue that, you know, money makes money. So because we are ahead, we are able to also get more gold income to Poppy than Poppy to begin with. In the sense that we're able to farm more sideways, jungle camps, perhaps plates, and even look for another solo kill or a roam. Also factual, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that is why we go for more risk-averse plays, because the only way that Poppy can get close to the amount of gold that we have is if we die. And then she's on the map and we're not, so she's getting more resources, plus she gets the gold that we have in the shutdown. So that is why...
The thing...
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to say this. I suppose the thing that sort of makes me want to make more risky plays is that I see like Fizz is like he's also quite far ahead.
So?
So I wanted to get more ahead of him so that I'm...
You are?
Yeah.
Who's gonna beat who in side lane? Riven with 2 items or Fizz with 2 items?
Yeah, probably. I think it might be a bit even.
Hell no. Hell no. There is no way a Fizz can kill a Riven.
Yeah, okay, maybe with Death Dance, maybe not.
And yeah, with Death Stance and a Hex Drinker, that's because that's what's coming next. You probably go Death Stance, Hex Drinker, Eclipse on that guy. This guy can't even get 10% of your health bar.
Yeah, gotcha.
So this Fizz is not a threat. Yes, Fizz is their win condition right now, but look at the rest. They're useless. You're dragging up, you got grubs. The game is literally, from this position, this is what I referred to earlier. If I'm in this spot here, I'm carrying this game 90% of the time.
Okay.
So let's see what we do. I'm very curious how this game goes south. Yeah, we should be fighting. Look at our items, look at yours. Good. Punish. Ignite. Dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay, because Nimbus and Jez, no W, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Was a little too late, but... Oh, what? The W didn't cancel her ult? That was weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think Poppy can like pull that off most of the time though, because once I get into like W range, she just like spams the button.
But this is still completely fine. She's... Oh... There's a lag spike.
Yeah.
That sucks because it was a kill window, but it's okay. No chance both sides, so you don't have to be scared. Now I want to start looking for some plates if I can. So what would you do here? Proxy. Very nice. You're doing everything right. So what's going to go wrong here? You're pretty good farmed.
I think I watched this myself. I think I should have just run towards her because it's...
I mean, Hecarim should be ulting.
I
mean...
Walk into the jungle without enough vision. Oh.
No, I think what you're doing here is fine. I think if your Nocturne plays the game, you win. If your Hecarim plays the game, you win here. You hitting this ward is bad because you give vision to Poppy.
Okay.
If you don't hit this ward, you're not cooked, but Hecarim should also ult right here. Like Q ult. If he ults you here, you're fine, because you can stay alive.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. It's one setback, it's not game losing here. Okay, one mistake happens. They died in bot lane too, so it's okay. This is not a game losing. You say, sorry, my bad, that's completely fine. I think CDR outputs is not bad, by the way. But this is fine. So we go back to top. It's a minor setback. Well, we do lose 2 plates, a wave, and the shutdown. But yeah, it can happen, right? I'll be moving here. Look at the map. Fizz is there. You get the plate. Good. You didn't get the plate. What are we doing? We hit gold.
Yeah, okay.
We hit gold.
I think I started moving towards that
Oh,
plane.
no, you do get it. You do get it. You do get it. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And you move mid here, which is good. Ult for the wave clear. And plates. Good play again. Yeah, just hard push this wave. Don't be too scared. Hecarim is near you. The faster you play, the more you can do. You're playing too slow. You should just this wave should be gone. You're taking a minute on a wave that should take you 5 seconds. If this guy jumps in, he's dead.
Yeah, gotcha. And then I'm wasting Hecarim's time as well.
You get it in. Kind of stuck on the map now with 1.7k gold because you didn't push the wave and recall. Because now we're getting a skirmish. This is okay. Well, ends up okay. After this, I don't see how we can ever be bad again. Perfect mechanically played. Get this as much as you can. And right now, run bot lane, get this turret. Pushes out all the way here. And you have death stance almost in base. Okay, you end up recalling. Which I don't think is bad. Then you just go top.
Yeah. Do you think that's like...
Well, Jin just got back from base, I suppose, so it's not terrible. But I would even consider. So see, I would just want to get my death stance here, which I think is not, you know, is sensible. So I would probably just push this, get this. But if Jin wants to be bot, it's alright to recall and go top lane as well. I don't like the standard Sky here. I just think death stance is infinitely better. Can you see why?
Yeah, no, definitely, because I can never die, so I don't really have a chance.
Yeah, and the thought process is, if you're so far ahead of the growth curve in the game and you get death stance, you're unstoppable.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, good. Your teammates have died a little bit, but it's alright. I think staying for this tier 2 is correct as well. Thus far, you've done only correct plays. Besides the one death. Like I said, it was minor setback. I think not go for this wave is good as well. Ping that you want to be bot now. See, this is where I need you to be assertive. You are bot. Why would you ever be mid? You need to be bot.
I think it was for Herald. I think it was for Herald.
What? Cass can play for Herald. I don't care about this Herald. What's the Herald gonna do?
Yeah, I suppose...
Because if you go bot lane right here, you can still play for this Herald. Because by the time that Nocturne is back alive, right, you're gonna be already here somewhat, and then you push this in, and you can move for Herald. And if enemy team play for her, so if enemy top laner receives here, you get numbers advantage. And if he does not, let's say they don't play for Herald, then your team gets it. And if they are all playing for Herald, then you get the tier 2. You're always ahead. There's always a good play for you. But if you don't go bot lane here, you're gonna starve yourself on resources. Okay. So tell me how you feel in this game with these items, or with a death stance and a hex ranker here.
I think I'd definitely feel a lot better with a death dance than hex ranker. I think my automation definitely needs to work, because in this game I felt a bit too like scared, because I was like,
yeah, you can get one shot here. Like... Holy, if you have death stance hex ranker here, you are unkillable, my guy. You cannot die.
Yeah, because Fizz doesn't have his.
And you're supposed to be both. Look, Cassidy can't even get priority. Why are we top lane and now mid lane? And then we randomly caught up in this fight here. I think you're also supposed to go in here. Like, you're running, like, you're too scared. I don't think you have a general understanding of how ridiculously strong you are. You have standard Sky. You can sustain from all of them. Get in there.
Yeah, gotcha. I sort of went in, like, very late.
Yeah, but this is a game-winning moment again. If you have... Again, but I'm going to talk about it because I said it earlier. If you have Death Sense Hexrank here, they're all dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're...
But even with Standard Sky, they're all dead here, though. You're too scared.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. This is probably where you lose the game.
Yeah, I think it did go a bit downhill from there.
This is probably where you lose complete control. So, from minute 17, you've made 0 mistakes to my, like, sins. You've done perfect. 150 CS, minute 17.
Yeah.
3 minutes later, you have 20 CS. Not terrible, but we die. So 4 minutes later, we got 20 CS. 5 CS per minute in the last 4 minutes when you were the one deciding the game. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Why do you ever let the 0-4 Cassidy decide what side lane he wants to be on?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're not assertive at all this game. You're not playing as if the win condition.
Okay.
Then to add on to that,
Yeah.
this whole game would look different.
Yeah.
So if you're bot lane right here, maybe you would want the Fizz, so there's never a mid play. But because Khazad is bot, are you aware that this entire play that happens in mid lane is because you let Khazad bot and you're top?
Yeah.
Because Fizz is perma roaming here, you see? That would not be the case if you are bot. That's a first. So, this is a result of you not being bot. Then, if they were making this play, but you were bot, you would get this tier 2 turret. So I wouldn't care too much if my Pantheon dies and we lose this, if my teammates die, if I get a tier 2, because that means I'm going to be 3 items, and I'm already a full item ahead of the curve. And then when we look at execution here, I also think you should have won the game here for yourself. You're playing it like a... yeah, you're playing it way too safe. But you see here that just that one decision, which is a major decision, changes the entire outlook of the game. And then you get a next skirmish with wrong items. Again, if you have better items, I think you win this. But now you lose control of the game because, well, this guy is on par with your gold now. This guy's on par, also on par with XP. You're very hard to progress into this guy. And again, I mean, you're going Eclipse here. Doesn't change the fact that you're still gonna get one shot.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Remember how much farm we had at minute 17?
Yeah, we were very strong. We had complete dominance.
Yeah, 150 CS in the past. What? 7 minutes, you got 30 CS. How do you feel about that?
I think, I mean, yeah. Obviously, the game should have been like over a long time ago, but I think the game was probably won once I got those, like, what was it, 1.2k gold in towers as well.
Yeah, if I'm in your shoes there and I go bot and I just keep progressing in my lead, I don't see how how it's a losable game.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, you did everything correct here almost, but those few mistakes led to a lot, right? Again, 25 minutes now, 119 CS. What was it? Was it minute 17? You're 150. So yeah, you just see it, right? In the past 8 minutes, you got 40 CS. It's 5 CS per minute after a successful laning phase.
So it's just a bit more control over the, like should be a bit more assertive.
Yes, you should be assertive and playing like the Wink Edition and playing where you can get resources and playing for yourself. How's Cassidy deciding where he wants to be?
So even if my teammates going to that lane, I should just say no,
bro, if I'm in your shoes here, you said you play in advance. When I'm recalling here, I'm already thinking about this. When I'm on the hitting on this turret, I'm like, okay, I gotta be bot lane. You see the side wave here as well, right? It's here.
Yeah.
What are you gonna play for if not this bot tier 2 turret?
Yeah.
So whilst I'm recalling here, I'm spamming that I'm going here. I'm spamming on the way. I also thought you skipped this wave because you want to be faster than Cassidy in bot lane.
Yeah, okay. I skipped this wave so that it would be on the bounce back.
Okay, that's fine too. But look at this. You see Cassidy walking bot, you're like, okay, I guess I go, where are we going? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, and then I go mid lane, and I think that's alright because then I'll be able to rotate to Herald.
Yeah, and also I think Cassidy actually beats Poppy and you beat Fizz.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go into Poppy, she neutralizes you with this and this. And, well, you kill the Fizz with 2 fingers in your nose.
I gotcha.
Okay. I think we spotted the main problems, right? Build path,
yeah,
very important. Infinitely important. It's like, I can't undermine how important that is. I think Cleaver into Death Stance here and Maul is like perfect. Or Eclipse on Sky Death Stance is also good.
Okay.
The problem that you face with...
more of a...
So yeah, what I do is I do maximum two like aggressive items, and aggressive items is like Eclipse plus Sunlit Sky. But then my third item and or my boots have to be defensive, a Maul, a Death Stance, or Sterox. Alternatively, if you're even, I very often only go 1 item aggressive, which is gonna be Cleaver. And then I follow it up with a Death Stance. And a Maul. And then I would go Eclipse Sunlit Sky, so you see I reverse it. So when snowballing, I can go Eclipse, Sunlit Sky, and because I'm snowballing, I have more gold income, so I can kind of still get to Death Stance in a position where I don't lose the control of the game. This game, if you go Cleaver into Death Stance, you see how you would still do more than enough damage, but also be unkillable. Now, the problem that you face is you go for 3 items of aggressive. And that's also what you run into when you play Hydra. So when you go Hydra, you would need Cleaver after, and maybe like an Eclipse or a Sunlit Sky. You could go Hydra, Cleaver, Death Stance. That's okay. But then you're also kind of lacking damage from either Eclipse or Sunlit Sky, right? So very often when you go Hydra, you go 3 AD items. Similar with this, you go Cleaver, Sunlit Sky, Eclipse. The order doesn't make sense to me to begin with, but then also, again, 3 aggressive items, no defensive items.
Okay, gotcha.
Perfect. So, if I am playing, I don't know, let's take a look of a comp here. How would you itemize this game? This one is trickier.
Into Garen, after what you've just said, I got a lead against him early, so I'll probably go Eclipse. And then Eclipse, they have 2 AD carries, a Mumu Nami. They don't have much undodgeable CC other than a Mumu. They have lots of ADs, so probably like Eclipse into Death Dance, and then Sterix Gauge, or something like that.
So it's decent, but the problem is Eclipse we follow up with Sunlit Sky 90% of the time. And then Death Sense, yes, but you do have to remember when you go Eclipse into Garen, which can work, but you are playing without HP then, right? So make sure you get a Doran's Blade, because you're playing against a champion with execution range like a Garen. So yes, Eclipse does still work, but this is not bad, what you did here. But it is a rare scenario.
Would you say something like maybe like Sundered? So you think Black Cleaver is fine into Garen Rush?
Yeah, I would go Cleaver Death Stance or Eclipse Sunlit Sky Death Stance.
What do you think of Sterix Gauge into Garen?
Sterix is good. Yeah, Sterix is really good here. But I'll probably take it 4th then.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Unless you go Cleaver, Death Stance, Sterix. That works too.
Okay. So
but that's when you're going even, right?
Yeah, okay. Would you ever build Eclipse as like 2nd, 3rd item? Or
no, then I would build it last. So if you're in this game and you go Cleaver, Death Stance, Sterox, then I would go maybe Eclipse 4th, Sunlit Sky 5th.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
This game, what are we building?
Into this game, I wanted to build like I think Ravenous into Black Cleaver, and the reason I liked Ravenous into Nasus is because I feel like Nasus is just so powerful, unless you like trade him like beforehand and like a quick trade or something, but he'll just out trade you anyways. That's like even if you're like winning into him, like he's like once he gets Sheen, it's just like very difficult to like sort of assert dominance over him. And it's like so that's kind of why I liked Hydra the arc, because I like do a trade with him, heal off the wave, and then like that sort of thing where I can like sort of maintain a bit of zoning.
Yeah, if I'm snowballing, I'm going Eclipse on this guy and I one-shot his ass. That's what I'm thinking. If you're going even, then I think it's okay, but you're gonna get outskilled with this very fast.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because again, you're delaying your spike to 3 items.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
This game.
Riven vs Scion. I really like Hydra because it's such an easy matchup, and I sort of just want to farm.
But you don't have to. You're already playing an easy matchup. Why do you need more room to farm? It's already an easy matchup.
Yeah,
I would go Hydra to avoid a hard matchup. You see the difference?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going Hydra into Gragas. I'm going Hydra into Teemo. I don't lane against those things. And I outskill them.
I suppose I have a bit of misconception of how Hydra kind of works then. Because I've sort of been running it into like either high poke matchups or like really farm heavy matchups, because I find it's like it feels very good to like farm with.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse, right? Yeah, it feels good to farm with. I can see that. That's true. But if I'm like heavy poke, to me, is a Cannon or a Teemo. Why is it good to go Hydra against Cannon Teemo? Because you're very often going to pair it with like a Maul or a Merc, so you're still going to be able to be fine with them. And your goal in those matchups is not necessarily to win, it is to go even. So if I'm playing into a Cannon or into a Teemo, after laning phase, I'm going to be able to farm a lot more than them as well, right? So in those scenarios, I like to go Hydra to just go even in lane, sustain, and then outskill them. Into Scion, why would you go Hydra then? Just go Eclipse, Sunlit Sky, Death Stance, and you're unkillable against their full AD team, and you 1v9 the game. Simple.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Do you think if I don't know what I'm supposed to be building, I should probably just like default to that then? Just Eclipse onto Death Dance?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Or a Maul if they have a lot of AP, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Obviously interchangeably.
Yeah. Um, Perfect.
Did you want to look at another game maybe?
Yes, we are. We are. Do you have? But I think getting these items down is so important. So important.
Oh yeah.
That's why I spend more
Definitely,
time on it.
yeah.
Do you have any questions about this game?
No, I don't think so. I think you've made it quite clear. Like, I think build path, and then just like it's kind of making myself a bit more assertive when I'm the win condition. Just
Yeah.
like,
It's also clear to you, feeling wise, why you lost this game, even though you were in the blessed position.
yeah.
That didn't sound convincing.
No, no, no. Like, I understand. Like, I made lots of like my mistakes were quite significant.
Okay.
Um,
You also see where you lost the game, right? Like mostly this decision
yeah.
right here completely loses you control. It's a
I
very
mean
good game to like. This is an amazing vault chosen by you because it shows everything. You kind of have all the tools. Like you have the grubs, you have the dragons. You are leading the game in terms of items. Because if you look at it, you're a full item above everybody else. Yet you felt useless the entire game.
Yeah.
That's because
I
of
think
few wrong choices.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Perfect. All right, let's move on. This one you wanted to see, right? Or would you prefer another one?
Yeah. Maybe the Riven versus Trinity loss. I think that one might be a good one.
Okay. So walk me through your early game approach and your thoughts.
Okay, so Riven into Trinity just as a base like matchup. Especially when he's running Grasp, I can't really contest him at all. My only trades that I ever will do with him is once I'm like around like level 4, and maybe he doesn't have much Fury, but I want to auto Q and then I have to be spacing so that I don't get hit by its E. How I win this matchup is sort of just by surviving until level 6, and then once I have like my items, my level 6 with like maybe a Caulfield's and like a longsword and Doran's blade or something like that, I'll definitely be like a lot stronger than him. That's
Wait,
sort of.
you said everything right.
So.
Your theoretical understanding of the game seems to be very high, so well done. Yes, you said everything. Very good. Why do you go D-Blade then?
D-Blade, I think for just like I don't know. I think Longsword 3 and D-Blade, it's a bit weird for me because I see D-Blade is actually a bit more sustain in the long run than Longsword 3. I feel like Longsword 3 is very you're playing for the first, I guess, 4 waves way too heavily. And you're playing to like be very trade heavy around the first 4 waves, whereas D-Blade is a bit more, you're a bit more prepared for like all in, and you have a lot more sustain on the base lifesteal of the item.
I see. It's just that percentage lifesteal. It's like pretty futile in the early game. It scales in the game, right? But percentage in the
also
early
like
game is pretty useless.
Yeah, okay.
Then I would say D-Shoot is better.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, okay.
Doran's Blade is very often considered an aggressive item start. So that is why I see it as more so counterintuitive.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, looks like you're strong side of this game. I like the way you've played this. I do think Trinamere should just E on top of you here and auto-attack you 3 times, and you're cooked. I would let this last hit go. Like, you're basically not allowed to go for these last hits. Right here,
Yeah.
if I'm this Trinamere, I E onto you, I think I can even do 4 to 5 auto-attacks on you, and your game is over.
Yeah, okay.
You're lucky you don't get punished here, but this Trinamere should E onto you, and there's a good chance he gets 1 or 2 crits, and you're cooked.
Yeah, because I only have 1 Q left as well.
Yeah, and you have 1 potion. I mean, this... he's still... I don't know. You're lucky here, respectfully.
Yeah, no, I totally see that as well.
This is good to walk up for because... Oh, never... I mean, he is also lucky. He got 2 auto attacks, both are crits, but yeah, unlucky for you. I think you could have had...
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well done. 2 minions for your level 3, so it is same for him. As you get 5 HP back on every auto attack that you do, but in a losing matchup like this, generally speaking, you're not gonna have the opportunity to auto attack that much in general, right? He has pushed the wave back into you again. You are strong side here, so now I would look for some trades. Because enemy jungle is pathing towards bot, and your jungle is pathing towards top. So looking for some trades here can be beneficial if you can make it with your jungler too.
Yeah, okay.
But your jungle is full clearing. He gets the way to crash. Started early game here. Nothing bad really happened. I just think some lessons you were just not allowed to go for. We ended up going for them. We didn't get punished. You farming pretty well on the turret too, so that's good to see. You got 20 out of 25, which is way above average, so well done. But Trinidad is also just brainlessly pushing the wave back into you every time. And Kazik is going mid lane, alright? So you're just playing it out safe, which is what you're supposed to do. You're avoiding trades, completely standard gameplay here. We can kind of sift through this. I think not allowing him to proxy, which is what I assume you're trying to do there, is perfect. Yep. Keep aware, you're both going to hit level 6 in this wave exactly. Okay. Now I think
a bit too extended.
Yes, unless you kill him here.
But I think it's sort of alright because level 6 is coming up. I think that's.
But so it is for him.
Game, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
What a lane phase. How do we get here? So yeah, you're never using any of your cooldowns, so you're doing that right. Oh, never mind. You just used everything on his face. Oh, and you use E. Holy, you're greedy. You should be dead. Never mind, you're him. Okay, I mean, well played, but in a different game.
I didn't think I deserved this.
Your W timing is insanely good. He didn't even get an auto attack after his E. And your bro, this is like perfect timing, by the way. Look at his ult. Look at this. The second it goes out, look. You see this? It's still on here.
Yeah, no.
It's still on here. It's perfect frame ultimate. So let's just say you calculated this.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to talk about is, could we have perhaps set up a recall to not avoid this position? And my point is hard pushing this into recall.
Okay. Wait, what do you mean by that? Sorry.
So the faster you collect this wave, the faster you can recall, right?
Yeah, I can't use abilities on it, can I? Because
you can. He's level 5. QQQW recall. Yes, you're gonna lose maybe 3 melees here, or even a 4th, but you at least make sure you are even in lane somewhat.
Yeah, okay.
And I think losing 3 melees and a caster is better than the outcome that we had here afterwards, where we basically had to flip it.
Yeah.
So for pure consistency, in your shoes, what I would have most likely done is hard push this, set up my reset. Make sense?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, the way you played it mechanically, you calculated that, obviously, so I'm in no position to speak. Oh my days! What did we just do? Ah, hell no, I'm watching the rest of this. We're trying Tavis? Okay, thank you.
I thought about it and I said, okay, that's probably a bad idea.
Okay, walk me through this purchase, buddy.
Okay, so this here, what was going through my head is I'm versing 2 very auto attack heavy champions, and that's why I initially thought played steel caps.
Yep.
And then for the Ravenous, I was thinking like Trinimir's gonna dive me if I ever lose HP. He's sort of just gonna run at me and I'm gonna die. But I still want to have a bit of strength. I still want to be able to deal like lots of damage and like contest him and then like punish his mistakes heavily. So that's sort of why I was thinking Ravenous here. But yeah.
Oh, you're going Ravenous?
Yeah, I was going Ravenous.
I see. 2k gold. You know what you just bought? 30 AD. Holy. Holy. You got 30 AD with 2k gold. You know that 1050 gold gets you 30 AD? 3 longswords.
Longsword, Doran's blade, or
Yeah, just 3 longswords get you 30 AD.
Yeah.
What would you buy instead now with this purchase?
I would probably try to build into Eclipse.
There you go. Pickaxe Caulfield. You know why this is so good? What do you think Trinimir is
Yeah.
going to do? I think Trinimir is sitting on 1.5k gold. What's this guy going to buy with 1.5k gold?
Probably Berserker's Greaves.
Okay, very good. So Trinimir is going to have 1200 gold on Berserkers and a dagger, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Or a longsword. Let's say he gets a longsword, so plus 350. He is a total of 350 gold towards his first item. You see that? Because he went for Berserkers. What you do here is you buy Confutes and a pickaxe. That is 45 AD. And 10 ability haste. Wow, that's pretty good.
That does
That's
sound
15
awful.
more. That's more kill pressure. You know what the beautiful part about this is as well? If you farm even for the next 800 gold with Tryndamere, you have a full Eclipse. He has what? A longsword and a recurve bow?
Maybe. Yeah, recurve bow.
Who's gonna win then? A Riven with Eclipse and a D-Blade? Or a Berserker's Greaves, recurve bow, longsword, Tryndamere?
Yeah, I can just sit on the wave and then
There you go.
eventually get a lead as well.
So you're already ahead, you're snowballing, you farm even for the next 800 gold, you win the game.
Yeah, gotcha.
There you go, Sunlit Sky Death Stance with probably Mercs, because again, you're playing against Nocturne. You beat both Tryndamere and Silas in the side lane. GG. Yet again.
Yeah.
This purchase, horrific. Genuinely horrific.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you got Berserker's double longsword. Because, okay, you got a blade. That's probably as to why. So you see here how much your purchases are actually stopping you in doing anything, even though right now you're winning your lane.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is really well played by you. I think the only thing you can do here to actually live, hop over the turret. You're out.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I just used my Q3 a bit too early because, yeah.
It's unlucky nonetheless, but could we have seen this coming in any shape or form? No, I don't fault you for this. No, you're playing the wave in a good position. You're putting your potions on even. No, this is, I don't fault you for this. I do think you can live by hopping over this turret. You're actually out, but
I think there is like lots to learn from it though. Like just that, I don't know, the thought process behind jumping behind that tower. I think that's like important. Like, why didn't I like jump over the tower there?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But yeah, for sure.
Your items now,
it is.
bro. My days, this item. You're gonna finish this up. Ooh. You see how much you value lifesteal and like the idea of staying full HP instead of killing your opponents. You're like always trying to go, I don't know, like you're like doomsday scenario. Always. How do I say this in English terms, man? You're always expecting doomsday. You're like, oh, I need lifesteal, or I need to be able to do it against this. Oh, I can farm better, bro. Just kill the Tryndamere with better items.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay.
Harper's wave is correct. Your theory is super good. Your mechanics are good too. I don't have much to point on your... Oh, this guy could be dead, by the way. He used ult, do you remember?
Yeah.
I would send it here. Ult, ignite, everything. Bro, he's dead. He's in your melee range. What do you mean? How do you start this?
Probably just ult ignite and then auto him, and then when he tries to run away, I just like chase him.
Yes, you're already spacing with him as well with the Nimbus, and you kill him. Like, he's dead here. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, because he's behind me as well.
Yeah. So I also think you're not playing... Like, once you are snowballing, once you're ahead, you're not using your lead effectively enough at all. Like, we also missed quite some kill winners on the Poppy earlier, right? Now, I mean... I don't even think he has ult, does he? He didn't need it. Game over. Your game's over. I don't think there's...
I think he popped ult straight away.
Did he? No, he didn't. It's not on.
Is that his ult?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. He did. You are right.
He popped it at the end,
yeah.
But I was already dead.
But now, this game is uncontrollable for you. Because you need 3 items before you're useful, yet you're already behind to Tryndamere 1v1. Nocturne is going to be able to attack you on the side lane perpetually too. I don't think you can recover from this game state with these items. Unless your opponents make a lot of mistakes and you get some luck.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did feel the game was like pretty doomed after, like, once I was in this position.
Yeah, there's very few options for you to begin with. Like, yeah, you're 40 CS and a full plated turret down. You cannot recover. There's no recovering.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You want to sift through the other game you showed me? This game?
Yeah, sure. The Jax game. I think. I mean, I only recently like sort of learnt the Jax matchup. Like, I mean, I have been learning like a lot of my matchups. Like, how I've been learning my matchups is I've been like I'll YouTube like yourself or Azzy. I'll look at Viper, but I feel like Viper's he's a bit of a wild card sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Viper probably comes closest to the way I'm playing the game, but every Riven player is gonna have their own playstyle and preferences, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a matter of adapting, finding what you like as well, um, and that's what I'll boil it down to. Yeah, you got caught by his level up timers, which is awkward. I don't know
Yeah,
where we're
it
walking
was
up
a bit.
again without a level up. You're griefing respectfully.
Yeah. I think my first like this part like first start I started it was bad. Um yeah. Then I saved my Q3 until it would be bad for him to jump in.
Oh, what are we doing? I think this guy's surprised. Like, why is he not jumping you? You should at least lose flash here. I think this guy thinks he's getting ganked or something. Like, I think you just bluffed him that you had like it's like all in on a random turn or something. Okay.
Okay.
This guy's getting frustrated. I think your landing phase thus far has been like last mechanic. This is the worst. Like, sorry that I put it in that frame, but I think this is the worst landing phase I've seen of you thus far. Like, you just traded very weird to me. I like this recall because he's playing with TP, or does he have ignite? Yeah, you're checking. He has TP. I think this recall is very disciplined by you, so well done. I really do appreciate that recall there. I think it's absolutely necessary that you TP there, or that you recall there, because if you push and then he TPs, you're pretty much stuck. So it's very disciplined recall there. So now you're like in an even position again. You're maybe slightly behind in XP, but you do have the ignite advantage. So well done there.
Yeah.
Yep, the Jax W is unstoppable. Very beautiful addition. I'm actually gonna try Scorch. You have kind of by watching this though, the Scorch does seem interesting. Like the W pokes with Scorch, it seems kind of disgusting
So
with Jax to deal with.
that's what I was gonna say. So my coach in Australia, um he's I think he's I mean I'm not sure it's not very impressive, but he's I think one of the best Rivens in our region.
I
He's
don't.
been
Sorry, like I don't downplay people's achievements. If he's like Challenger Room players, doing amazing. So don't worry about that.
yeah, okay, yeah. So he sort of showed me how to like play it this way with Scorch. And he basically said the idea is that you W him, auto him, and then like walk away.
Yeah,
And then if he jumps on you, then
EQ.
like yeah, EQ, or like, and then if he has no E, like it. Oh, if he has no E, then you can like EQ into him, trade him, and
Yes.
like W out, stuff like that.
The problem is that
Um,
against very good Jax players, what they're gonna do is they're permanently gonna use their W unstoppable, and they use E before you do W auto attack, and then it becomes a little bit harder. But you've been able to abuse this guy consistently, so you're doing very good here. Oof, there you should be though. And now I would want you to pop a potion so you stay relatively full HP.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, there you go. And at level 6,
Yeah,
we
so
could all in.
I used to play this matchup with bone plating, which I think is how you played as well.
Dependent. In Korea, I had to because the Jacks in Korea were just too crazy. But in hindsight, I think you just go Scorch, Nimbus, or Scorch Transcendence. Both work. Flash Ignite, yeah. And then you can go W start or you can go Q start. Both can work.
Okay.
Okay, and the way I also like to play the Jax is I like to full Q delay. Q3 on top of him. He thinks he can fight you. He all-ins you. I would hard push the wave here, set up my reset. You're not moving here. You should hard push the wave and set up your reset. You get pickaxe and you can kill him on the bounce. There we go. Why we're not resetting? Very late. Again, you're really gonna get call feuds for 10 AD over the pickaxe. Like every purchase you do is just bad. Everyone is bad. Like I haven't seen you do a single good recall, actually.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna flame you for that. And that's good, because that's gonna stick with you. You bought boots again, Call of Duty boots every game, man! We're not in Season 5. Or Season 6, where this item was actually useful. It's terrible.
Yeah, okay.
Even with 25 AD, I would have rather had 3 longsword. With 20 AD, I can even justify getting Call of Duty finished. If you lose a cannon like that, I'm alt F4ing, by the way. Like, I would hate to be in those shoes. Do you have those disconnects often?
I'm not. I don't think. I'm not sure why it's lagging here, actually. I don't think it was actually lagging here.
So, the way I'd set a kill window up against Jax is you full Q delay, and then you Q3 into his face with like with full confidence, and then he's like, oh, Riven just uses cooldowns, I'm gonna jump into her, right? And then you like kite away, you take all the damage, but you don't die, and then you get your Q back and you one-shot him.
Should I be stacking like the Qs in the bush so that he can't see it?
No, I would just do it in his face to showcase, like, look, I'm using my cooldowns. You Q3 into him, and then he jumps you, and then you one-shot him. That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Those are pretty good laning phase. You get the wave in, you roam, you get the kill. Nice mechanics. Make sure you get the kill as well. Beautiful. You can't really stop this. I think thus far you've had a pretty good laning phase. I just think you could have had, perhaps had like 10 to 15 more CS, but other than that, it's been a clean laning phase by you. And yeah, I mean, of course, if you had a little different items, but I won't be Mr. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we get here? Oh, EQ forward. Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, so I have to save my cooldowns there.
Yeah, you can't jump onto him. You just make it too easy. It's a 1-for-1, so it's alright, but the wave isn't too good for you. And you're rushing Cleaver, which I think is alright. Same thing. So here, when coming back to lane, do you know how much gold a cannon wave gives you?
Cannon wave? Cannon's like 90 each minute.
Yeah, so it's like 200 gold. So what I do in your shoes here is just hard push the cannon wave, set up my usage again, because I want Cleaver. Because you're going to be twice as strong with a completed Cleaver than you are with all the components, right? So just hard push this, set up your reset. I should not, you would not, like, I would have instantly hard push here and set up my reset. And then you're, like, it speeds up your progression curve immensely, because on the bounce, you could probably kill this Jax here.
Okay, so I kind of in my tempo by going for Scuttle here.
Super hard, because this is your reset timer. If you don't take it here, you're not going to get it again, right? So you delay your tempo with like 2 minutes. Okay, let's take a look when you get your reset in, right? So now Jack's going to push it in. You end up fighting him here. I hope we win, because else it would really suck. There we go. Cleaver would have won.
Yeah.
Alright, if we don't fight him here, you see you never get priority again. So you miss your reset timer for going for a Scuttle. That does not change anything. You had Cleaver here. He is almost dead here. Like, he's pretty much dead here with Cleaver. Because of the armor shred, all that stuff, right? He would have been dead already.
Yeah, and I have extra health, so it's all in place.
Yep. I mean, the game just looks over because your team's snowballing. To be fair, it was a somewhat clean game, but I think just... Yeah, Cleaver Rush is fine, by the way. But then, again, I would just sit on... Like, if I rush Cleaver, I can't remember any game where I have Cleaver, but you can genuinely see me sitting on 3 longswords and a Ruby Crystal. Yeah. And not a Call of Duty or a Kindle Gem finished. Or a Phage finished.
Yeah, gotcha. So you just like want to complete the item at once because the components are so bad.
They're just terrible. Like the epic items, like I think we call them, they're nerfed so ridiculously hard that they're just genuinely not worth it anymore.
Okay.
This Jax has to like make forceful plays, and you've played this well. I guess you seem to be very confident when you're like backed in the corner under your turret. You seem to be playing this out very good. I think you've been there before, but yeah.
Many times.
Okay, so how do you feel about everything right now?
Yeah, I mean, in this state of the game, I still feel like, I mean, after I just killed him there.
I think the game's pretty much over for you, right? Like, you get first turret. I would go Death Stance here in your shoes again. Once you get Death Stance, so here I would just get a pickaxe and a longsword, and once you finish Death Stance, this guy's not gonna have a fighting chance against you. Like, once you have Cleaver death stance against this Jax and Udyr, you could probably even 2v1 them. That's how strong the death stance makes you.
Yeah.
This guy's just dead for the turret. He cannot win. Alright, it's a little bit of a goose chase, but we get him. Oh, and they FF. Or what? I guess they FF?
I don't know. My outplay didn't upload this full game.
Oh, okay.
But I think from this point, the game was very like. I think that was my last death that game. I think it was just like a pretty
straightforward game after that.
Like, yeah, it was pretty straightforward after that. Yeah, that was my last death that game. Ended up 6-2-7. So
it's good. So, yeah. How do you feel regarding everything now that we've spoken about?
My itemization. I think, yeah, just my itemization's like really bad. I probably need to be thinking like maybe even in advance, just for starters. Yeah, just like how you mentioned, like the pushing the cannon wave for the Black Cleaver, like that plan would have never been in my head. I wouldn't be thinking about how much the cannon wave like costs. So I think my items are probably like how I build my items, how I prepare for my items, and like what I'm building is probably what I need to be like prioritizing at the moment.
Yep, 100% agree.
And then the other thing would probably be just being a bit more assertive. Like if my mid laner wants to go bot lane, and like he's a 0-6 Cassidy, like just like sort of being a bit more greedy with like how I'm getting my resources and like controlling the game a bit more, sort of moving people around.
Yep.
And then I suppose the last thing, yeah, I mean, I think it does sort of come down to just those like little points. I'm not really sure. Do you have anything else you can add to that?
Well, I think your mentality is going to switch massively by just transitioning from, instead of, oh, I need to make sure I don't die, to I want to kill my opponents and snowball. I think that's a big thing. I think, yeah, item change is the most important one to me, but I've went very thoroughly on that, so I think we've covered all that. And then through that, starting to understand your item spikes better. That's the next step, right? And then correct wave assignment in terms of side waves, and then just carrying the game through that. I think that's the structure you're missing right now to get successful. That combination of understanding items with item spikes, and then pushing your lead once you have it.
Okay. Just real quick, before we finish up, what do you think is the best way to like, or like, how should I be like VOD reviewing every game? Like, how do you VOD review your games? And then another thing is, since the items are always changing, what do you think is the best way to like sort of keep on top of it and sort of like, in let's say next season when all the items are different, for example,
I would follow me. That's one thing I was gonna say, and I mean, like, that sounds very cocky, but I would follow what I'm doing, or what Viper's doing. I think he very often has a good read too, and I'll study it again. Yeah, I wouldn't copy Korea because it's just such a different server, especially in challenger level there. Then how to VOD review? I find this one hard. I'm not a... See, I very often learn by playing. I think it's different for every individual. I can make conscious mental notes when playing. If I'm reviewing, I would review my deaths. I would review certain information that I perhaps missed during the game and why. And I would look for patterns. So I would look for bad patterns and good patterns. I would study certain trade patterns. I would study, my deaths and also let's say the minute that led up into my death. And I would study gold switches in the game. So if you're 2k to 3k gold ahead in the mid to late and you're somehow not getting an advantage, what could you have done differently and what happened that led into, a certain position? So for example, when I highlighted that because you are not bot, Fizz is able to get prio, get man advantage in mid lane, and you guys never have control over the game, that's a pattern to spot. But then the thing is, and that's the problem, when you're VOD reviewing, are you going to see the same things that I'm seeing, right? And this is why I think you kind of need a combination of playing, getting comfortable with understanding items and learning your spikes better, and then, yeah, reviewing deaths or important gold switches. But one issue that can lead to too much reviewing that I think is you're gonna over stimulate yourself in the sense of you're not gonna be able to think straight anymore because you're gonna have too many things that like, oh, he would do this or somebody would do this. Alois would do this here. Ozzy would do this here. You know, I don't want you to start thinking like that. I want you to just get confident with your gameplay.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Gotcha. So maybe just don't dwell on like the VOD reviews too much.
No, I think you're gonna it can also be backwards in the sense that you're gonna be stuck and not really feel comfortable anymore because you feel like you have too many options and you don't have confidence in your choices anymore. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was pretty impressed when you like spotted that out. That me not going bot lane and cast it in and let Fizz do the roam. Like I think I don't really see things that way, but I think that's probably an area to improve and maybe like more VOD reviewing like my mid game because usually I only VOD review like my first 4 waves, my first death, and maybe like a bad decision or like maybe I died from a gank or something. Like how could I have avoided it or like why am I in this position? How did I play my waves? Sort of thing.
Yes, you want to look for structural improvements, not like one thing you could have improved, unless it's a trait interaction, right? But then again, that leads to structural improvement.
So by a structural improvement, you mean like a pattern, like
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, if there's like a one case instance where you die to something, so what I've seen happen with students is they once died to a level 2 gank, and then the rest of their games, and this was a master level player, master 500 LP, he was always making sure he cannot die to a level 2 gank. But that's faulty reasoning because one thing happens in like 1 in the 50 games or 1 in 100 games, and now all of his future games he's trying to play in a way to avoid that ever happening again, which is flawed reasoning. Does that make sense? So I want you to look for patterns that are more likely to happen instead of how is it? Basically, I want you to learn to be adaptive. That's the biggest skill you can have in League of Legends. And that's why you want to.
That's a bit broad, though.
Sorry?
I think that's a bit too broad of a goal, though.
No, it is, but so this is why I find it so hard to give people tools to review games because I feel like everybody, it can really go in either way. So the example I give here is very extreme, but my student had the mindset that he once got a level 2 gank, right? So, and we did a buff into a gank. And then every game he was playing to circumvent that from ever happening again, which is just incorrect. Because you're going to be playing the game completely different, right? So I don't want you to have these type of... and that is what I mean with looking for structural things in the sense that you want to be able to learn
Wait.
Huh?
I think maybe I get it. So like, for example, if I'm versing like a Fiddlesticks and I shouldn't really be scared of a level 2 gank. Like, sure he can do it, but his goal is to like farm. Whereas if I'm versing like a Nidalee, it's a bit more likely, so I can be a bit more careful. Maybe do like a deep ward if I'm versing like a Nidalee or an Necton or something.
Yeah, and like exactly. So I want you to look for the habits that lead to jungle tracking. So pressing tab every time, and not look at the 1 in 100 instances to lead your decision making, but look for general structure, I guess. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I want you to filter to gain good habits and filter bad habits. And a bad habit, for example, would be to not be checking the jungle farm whenever he shows on the map. And the good habit is to, of course, be tracking the jungles. That's just one example, right? But there's plenty of those. And so if you ever die once on a very weird timer, picture the Nocturne death that we had into Tryndamere. Where is it? Here, this one.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty rare instance. I also asked, could you have circumvented this? And I think it's hard to circumvent. Where is it? And the reason as to why I don't fault you that much for it is, well, one thing you could argue is, right? One thing you can argue is, okay, my jungler is bot side right now, and I don't really know where enemy jungler's at, so I'm not going to play aggressive. But you are not playing aggressive. You are already playing in your happy spot, right? You're playing in a very safe position. You're not looking for very extended fights. You are already playing pretty safe. So this is like a death where I don't really think you could have done much different. It's just like a good play by enemy team. That's the thing.
Okay, gotcha.
So
yeah,
here I wouldn't study like trying to find ways to circumvent this play. It's just well played by enemy team. But let's say your jungler was ganking or diving bot right now, and you're fighting here for fun. But then I'd say you're weak-sided right now. What are you doing? right? That's a bad
Yeah.
habit.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's more so what I mean. That's why I find it so hard to give people tools to review their gameplay, because I feel like people can really lose themselves into certain like thought processes. That's the thing.
Okay, so sort of just be open-minded that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
something like think about it. If you think you could have prevented it, then think about how you could have prevented it.
There you go.
And if you maybe it's unpreventable, then like don't try to think too hard about it.
Yeah, and don't lock yourself into certain thought processes. So when we're talking about the early game, you have a very good theoretical approach to the game, from what I've heard. But some people will say, oh, in this matchup, I'm going to do a 4-wave crash always and do this. I say, like, no. Only thing I want you to tell me is, can you look for level 1 priority, yes or no? And then be adaptive to how your opponent plays and how the junglers are pathing. That's what I mean with being adaptive.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Perfect.
Okay. I do find it difficult to focus on more than one thing at sort of more than one thing at once when I'm like going into like a game, because usually when I queue up I try to queue up for like a reason, like I'm trying to improve it at one thing, or like there's something that I'm trying to improve this game. Like let's say I felt like my jungle tracking was lackluster. I'll try to be a bit more focused on jungle tracking. Do you think that's like a good thing to be focused on, like,
Yes, I'd
or
rather
like
have you
how would you
focus. Yes.
your attention when learning?
Well, the thing is, you need to work on a habit until it's ingrained into like your autopilot behavior, in a sense, right? So yes, I want you to focus on a concept one at a time. I don't want you to focus on your level up timers and at the same time on your opponent's level up timers whilst tracking the jungler and looking at your own jungle path. Like, it's gonna be too much, right? So first work
Yeah,
on memorizing all the level up timers for yourself. Then once you see the patterns, start taking a better and closer look at your opponent's level up timers. And then uh yeah, once you are past that and you have ingrained it as a habit, work on to the next one, like jungle tracking. All right, start putting the ward down whenever you can and start kind of calculating and see what he's doing, right? And whenever he shows to the map, press tab and try to ingrain these habits. And the more you do it, the more consciously and easier it's gonna be for you, because you're gonna start seeing patterns. You see a jungler with 12 CS, you already know, okay, he's cleared one side. He's 28, all right, he's done a full clear, right? So you start seeing patterns, and it will go easier and easier the more you focus on it until it's ingrained as a habit, and you move on to the next.
yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. That sounds good then.
Perfect. Okay, then.
I have been a Norms Andy since season 5.
Okay.
And I realistically kind of just want to. I've only been ranked in very few instances, and it has only been when I'm wanting to play Clash with friends, or like the ranked rewards are good enough to do it. But besides that, yeah, I only play like 5 ranked games. I might have under 20 ranked games in my life, if
Why
we're
is
not
that?
counting. So I just haven't felt the need to climb ever in my life, and I realistically kind of want to start now. It'll be fun. I'm hoping it'll be fun.
I'm actually very curious. I've never had somebody have like that has done normals for, let's say, 5 years and wants to start playing right now. So I'm actually very curious what your skill level would be at.
So it's very hard to say, because I never know if like the higher accounts that I play against are like full on tryharding or something like that. But I can see they're on their mains with like Professor or something like that. But on average, I'd probably say like maybe high gold, low platinum, probably.
Okay, because yeah, what I am seeing, for example, is some very high CS numbers here in your recent games. Like I see 9.1, 8.4, 8.8. That's a till sign for me, but then again, I don't really know, let's say, what ELO you're playing against, but 8.6 on the H-Hooks. It's very rare to see, okay, so this guy is around gold for platinum player, right? So, yeah, it's hard to say, but I'm very curious to that. So right now, we don't really have an accurate, I guess, picture of where your skill really lies, but we can make an estimate. That's fair?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a goal
Whatever
rank
the
in
estimate
mind?
could be. Not entirely, probably like Emerald, but I don't know if I can go higher than that. I don't know when I'm going to start struggling in ranked, realistically speaking.
And then one other question that I usually curious as to is like, what would be your champion pool? Because ultimately, in my view, the smaller your champion pool, the easier it would be to start climbing. Now you have a lot of experience already because you've played. I see your mastery points here too. But what would be your champion pool trying to approach that?
It'd be in like what I would play in a ranked environment right now, it'd probably be Nasus, Yorick, or Aatrox. I love playing GP. I'm very confident on GP, but I'm not certain on like the build path right now, so I'll wait for a little bit until
Yeah, that
that's
makes
all like
sense.
settled out.
Okay, I think it's a pretty solid champion pool. Honestly, for me, there's very few to comment on your OpenGG right now. I assume the games you play are also normal games then.
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
normals.
That's
Except
in
maybe
a
like
way
DRAM.
a shame, but at the same time, that's also gonna work. I'm very curious to see how you're gonna progress. Actually, like I would love for you to keep me posted on your progression as a player, seeing how far you
Sure.
can come. I believe there was once I heard of like a player. I don't know who it was anymore. It's a professional player now. He basically didn't play much ranked at all. He just played normals and then he started playing and he got high elo pretty fast. So I'm curious to see how your progression is going to be. Okay, do you have any preference on which vault to start with?
Oh, we could just do like game 1 or to game 4. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
A lot of them, I think, are just struggling from mid to late game. Realistically speaking, that's
Okay.
That's where a lot of the problems lie.
Jerry speaking, I'd still like to go through laning phase because this is
Sure.
the most replicable part of the game. So if we're talking about laning phase, let's just say you can clean it up a lot more. It's a lot more applicable when we're talking mid to late. It's going to be a lot more situational plays, matter of understanding tempo both from you and your opponents to just get in a better position. So talking about structure, what are you thinking about whilst you're in the loading screen and about to head into your game?
So it's not an aggressive set rune page, I don't think. It's built a lot more for like just short trades, realistically speaking. Talia is a lot more annoying for like ganking with the set, so I need to make sure I get my ward down early. If I can, I usually like getting shoved on Aatrox just because it's so normal. Trying to get him to like third wave crash, and I can play out the bounce then with like jungler or even earlier than that, maybe. That'd be nice. But
Okay.
besides that, yeah.
You have answered everything perfectly. So what I usually do is I check my opponent's setup in terms of runes and summoners. Then I were to scout the 2v2 in the early game a little bit. And the main question that I ask myself is, am I going to be able to contest level 1, yes or no? And you've already answered all three of those. So absolutely perfect. Into set and as Aatrox, I would also recommend to just get pushed in. I think looking for any aggressive traits in the early game is just going to backfire on you. He has a lot of sustain. He's playing with grass too. It shouldn't work. And then the one thing I want to check as exactly as you're doing is pressing tab when going into a lane so you see what starting item he has. Of course, if Seth plays with D-Shoot or D-Blade, he played different, right? So this is perfect. Very good theoretic setup. And you have your early game ward too. So what's the information we have right now?
So Talia's starting bot side. Both junglers are pathing top, so we're both strong sided.
Yeah, I would say it's just like a neutral area, right? Like strong side, weak side, more so when it's opposite. This is just a neutral pathing. Okay, I think it's very standard here. And yeah, don't go for last hits that are going to cause you to bleed. But okay, he has W start by the looks of it, right? Because he has his grid running instantly.
Yeah, that's why I kept going there. I wasn't that scared of an E.
Okay, so he seems to have your theory down pretty well already. Then maybe one question then. What do you feel like you struggle with as a player? I forgot to ask that question.
Oh, you're fine. I think a lot of it, I'd say I have a pretty good mentality right now, especially. I would say it's either being carryable through mid game to late game, or it's carrying mid to late game.
Okay, so what do you feel like you do wrong? In the sense that, are you just like running it down when you are behind, so you're not setting up your team to carry, or because I see your devs are pretty low, so do you just feel like you're not active enough on the map? You're farming too much?
Yeah, it's probably that is the best way to put it. I'd say a lot of different things. Watching your replays over again is so like awkward because you're like, what am I doing? But
Yeah, okay. Well, then we'll get into it. I'm very curious to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so damage is passing top. I think the early game we can mostly sift through. Not too interesting. Just don't go for lessons that are going to cost you and look for the bad traits on their level ups, but looks like you haven't. And so now we're thinking about playing out the bounds after the third wave crash, right? This makes total sense. One benefit you always have on bounce timers is that you get your level up timers around the same time, or even sometimes even faster, right? So here, one caster is actually it looks like you've lost some EXP, so you're not gonna hit your level 4 here. But usually one caster would be your level 4 timer here. Okay, I'm not too interested in that right now. This could be an all-in timer because he used W. Okay, beautiful. Hey Diana's here at the perfect time too. Okay, what's the first thing we do after killing the set?
I would look at, well, something I'm actually trying to do a lot more is look at next wave and see if I can hard push it. So I'm forced to slow push this next wave. And Talia's most likely doing crab right now, so I can't really roam with my jungler because it's slow pushing back into him. That'd be really bad.
Okay, again, you've got it down 100% correct. So I'd be looking here exactly as well. Now, what's the reason you say you're supposed to slow push? Because the wave's already here, right? That's one reason, perhaps. Other reason is because right now it's situated in, like, let's say we split it up. This would be middle of laning phase of the lane, right? This would be your side. This is his side. If it's here, 9 out of 10 times you have to slow push into hard push. If it's here right now, let's say the wave was around this area, so this wave right here, you would be fast enough at hard pushing it, and here you're always in time. If the wave would be around here, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So here slow pushing, really... yeah, it's slow, right? Especially with your cooldowns and the D-shoot. So this is correct. I like this. No mistakes thus far. Now I want you to start hard pushing. There you go. Yeah, one thing to speed up the process by focusing the casters. You're even doing that. Good shit, man. Clean. It looks like we were. Bounce. Yeah, I mean, it looks like.
It with him.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, here you're not in any danger because 4:30. I would assume that enemy jungler has already left, so I think you're completely fine here. So your ping is 64. Are you just like in a not so nice area for NA region?
So I play with. So if you look at all the replays, the mid Yone that's having connection problems. We actually solved it right after this game. He never uninstalled and reinstalled Vanguard ever in his PC, so we fixed that.
Oh.
He dies here, actually.
He has no flash, right? So you should never really be able to die. You have 12 Conqueror stacks, so you win the extended fights. Beautiful. Okay. From this point onward, I would say laning phase is absolutely over. You're playing against Talia set. I like tier 2 boots in general on Aatrox, but I don't think you're forced to buy that tier, so you go Profane Hydra first. Regarding build path on Aatrox, I'm also a little bit unknown right now. I heard from Nayu, you're probably familiar with Nayu, that he doesn't like lethality that much, but maybe change his mind again, so I'm not sure.
I also don't like lethality. This is right when changes came out, so it was quite annoying.
Yeah, makes sense.
For like changes.
I'm not a big... Yeah, sorry.
So right here, would it be... it wouldn't really be that favorable even when Talia's like on map and shown to try and fight set 1v1. Because he shouldn't get level up. He should get on like the first 2 minions on the next wave.
Something like this. So I disagree with you. What I would do is, or what I've assumed here is that Talia has just farmed these 2 camps, and after this mid gank, can either walk straight away top lane or has to go to her topside camps. So I would, as a habit, I would just press tab here fast, verify that she's gotten her reset in, which I assume she has, because you see Diana gank top, recalled, farmed her 2 bot-side camps, and came into topside again. So I would just press tab, verify Talia's items, that's all you have to do. I would hard contest this bounce, simply because you're level 6 to level 5. So it's a mentality thing. You're either are going to contest it or you're just going to play it more safely. But I think with Seth being forced to walk up here in melee range when you have your Qs makes it very, very hard for him to play. So here, for example, I wouldn't use my W on the cannon. I would look to use it on him with my Qs, and I believe you can get him to below half HP. And then on the next wave, he's even more screwed. So I believe you're playing this a little bit too, I would say, too passive. This is good. And there's pretty much no counterplay for him. Okay, he did get his level 6. EW is on cooldown. Could look for a small trade. Okay. What's one downside of this trade, going this deep in the trade?
The minion damage, realistically, and it harder being to play out the bounce because Talia is going to be there for it, probably.
Yeah, and there's one more detail to that, and that's that the plant in the river has spawned. So Seth has priority right now, and he can get access to the plant first. So I think let's take a look here on this bounce. I think here you are way. I mean, here Talia hasn't shown yet, so I can also understand that you're just a little bit more passive. You don't have to be super aggressive. And he just space it, I see. Okay, and now we see Talia. I think the reason why this trade just didn't go that well is because of the W here, and you actually see him get level 6. If you see him get level 6, then our plan changes, right? So here, I think this is fine. Trade was good, a little bit lack of spacing, but it's still a very good health trade. And yeah, here I think you're just supposed to E sideways, but you saved your E, so now you actually have an all-in window here. If you land the skew. Yeah, I think
he was a little troll. That's all right.
I think here, if you all in him, he's dead. I think QW. I mean, I think Q1 lands there, right? Or at least if you space well, Q1 just lands here. Because you know, you're familiar with set cooldowns in general.
Yeah. So his E doesn't have any CDR. It's probably like closer to like, let's say like 10 or 12 seconds.
It's 17, but right now it'll be 10, 12, yeah. And yeah, it's W, same thing. So 10 seconds, this guy is just a standing 2 with his ult. I believe you can just kill him here if you land your combo. You could even ult at the start of your combo here. There's nothing he does about it. So you ult Q1, right? Maybe even an auto attack W, Q2, Q3, and he's just dead. Or 1 HP, and then if he is 1 HP, it would still be worth it because you get access to the first plant, or you can decide to crash the wave in.
Yeah.
Okay. All in all, this is not bad, obviously, but like you said, it's gonna make the bounce a little bit harder, and he can get access to the plant here if he wants to. Okay. Well, you're not really giving this guy a chance to play the game, so that's good. Alright, and we're gonna hard push here. I like the more aggressive setup, I think it's fine. At the same time, how much gold did you have? Did you have... No, you had this. If you had 1.2k there, I think you consider getting Tabis, because you will always kill him, he can never kill you, but this is still completely fine. Okay. I mean, you're just super respectful here to not take this trade, like, past this. And because you are not, that is also the sole reason you're not able to get Dove here. But I think you're well aware of that. The whole wave was gone anyways. That execution is a little bit flawed. Okay. So, what is your mentality in this point of the game? Because you said you kind of struggle with playing the game from this point onwards.
So, the thing that I struggle with most is how to apply my lead when I need to, and when to actively just stay in my lane and continue to gather more resources than they can.
Okay, very good. I think there is always a fine balance. Aatrox is not one of the best champions that can like create tempo on lane and move around the map. This is one of the things where I dislike Aatrox as well, simply because it's hard to really catch people off guard and or to like, let's say, get a pick on side lane and progress on turrets, right? But now you're so far ahead that it should be possible, and especially going for Profane Hydra first. So my mentality, generally speaking, is I want to get the turret down ASAP. Once I have the turret away from the map, then I can start expanding my lead. If you cannot get the turret, then it's a matter of proxy farming into roaming. Because right now I believe the set is 0-4 or 0-3. Putting that set down one more time is not necessarily going to change the outcome of this game, right? If we look to progress on other sides, we are going to be in a much better spot. Okay, so I believe it's also fine to not recall here. You don't have your item yet. Beautiful. Good aggression. ADC has admitted... Sorry?
I feel like that word's a little unnecessary because Talia was shown bot now that I'm looking at it, because she didn't have red when she...
Yeah, it's a detail. I mean, I like that you're self-critical like that, but I think in the moment it's a very natural war to do. Because, like, if I'm in the shoes as well here, I would, as my biggest goal, try to not die to anything. If you die, that's the only way Set and or Talia can really get back to close to the amount of gold that you have right now. Okay? So you kill this guy again. Okay. I like, you kill him and did not die. And okay, so now if you reset. Okay, now we can get a more accurate description of how this game should play out. How do you feel this game should play out? Because we kind of talked about it briefly, but I see your junglers a level up on their mid laner. You're like 3 levels up on this set. Okay, 2 levels. He's 0-5. If we were if we were to look at gold values right now, maybe you're like 2.5k gold ahead of the set right now. Right? So if
Yeah.
we never die, you're perpetually 2.5k gold up ahead. If we farm even the rest of the game, you're 2.5k gold up ahead. But because you're so far ahead, and you have an item giving you wave clear, you'd agree with me that you can always expand this lead to go higher as long as we are not dying.
Yeah.
So not getting caught up is our main goal. I would say, since you're so strong right now, you're also going to be able to play silently against both Ahri and Set. So now we have to just itemize for the rest of this game, so that we're always going to be in a strong position. Nobody in this game right now can match your amount of gold income. My mentality very often in games it's like this is going to be, if I start building defensive right now, it's going to be offensive, simply because I can still kill them, they cannot kill me. It doesn't mean you're going full defensive going forward, but for example, if you were to build a Sundered Sky right now, and or let's say Maul Death Stance, just like throwing it out there, I don't think anybody can ever kill you this game, and you are always ahead.
I could agree with that completely too.
So you would still have enough damage to kill anybody, but you're never going to be able to get caught. If you build full authority here, they could still one-shot you, you still one-shot them, but you overkill them. If you go defensive from this point onwards, they're cooked. So here, yes, you want to contest, you don't want to give this guy wave priority. We're getting grubs as well through Yon, I suppose, and the Diana here, and beautiful. Okay, so I want to start killing this guy and looking to progress now and getting the turret down. Very good. Get rid of the guy. You're just even diving him. I mean, you're doing exactly everything you're supposed to do. Okay. That's a little bit unlucky. Alright, Zhao Shai man. Get your recall in. So what would you so here, I mean, this is fine, right? Going hubris, I just think is overkill. Absolute overkill. It doesn't help you in your progression in this game. I would consider like a Merc Treads here probably. I don't think you need the Tabis against this guy and this guy. See, these are their two main conditions right now, right? If you were to call them win conditions. I don't even think they're that much of a win condition because your team is head everywhere. But I would probably build to itemize against these guys. Or just make yourself more tanky so you can never die. And this purchase doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Trying to get this turret down. Talia's bot. So let me replay this. You're looking to permanently kill this guy and getting the lead through that, right? An alternative option here would be to just hard push this wave. Walk around with your E here. Proxy next wave. Perhaps get some hits on this turret too. If not, look to roam. Or look to farm all these jungle camps. Like here, you're kind of banking on him making a mistake by walking up so that you can progress. If you do my plan, you progress 100% of the time. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably what I would do here, unless this guy has a tendency to keep walking up. But here, I believe he was playing so safe, and I feel like right now, your only way of seeing how you can progress is through killing him. But you don't have to kill him to progress. You see? You're doing it habitually. The only way you're really trying to progress the game is through killing him. I feel like you could have had this turret down if you would have kept proxy farming, maybe getting some hits in the means, do some damage, or you could have had a potential roam opportunity in something like this. Now I don't like your position, we're below half HP, so I wouldn't really like to fight here. I'm not sure where Talia's at. If you die, yeah. See, this would be a big blunder to begin a progression from here on out. It's fine, because it went to the set, which I believe is preferable, because you're going to keep sidelining against him. But your decision here is, we're finally in a proxy position, but now it is when Talia's coming back into top side, right? She was bot side for like past 2 minutes, and we're just too late with doing this now. Okay, Diana gets a kill. Yeah, she gets a turret as well. So now, how do we play the map?
So we still continue to go bot because Melio is absolutely super annoying to deal with as Aatrox because, you know, boop, get out of here. So we have to wait for their bot lane to steamroll our bot lane and take that turret for them to move mid to go bot. So we still continue to go top.
I see. So you're definitely familiar with my sayings. However, here I would also slightly disagree, and that is because you've already gotten the turret and we're 15 minutes in. So if you do this at minute, let's say 11, and you move bot, then I 100% agree with your statement. Now, if you go bot lane, I don't think it's bad for your team to go mid lane and Yon to go top, for example. I would say that your Yone is still okay playing into the set, and your bot lane is fine playing into mid. But you also can't really progress into bot, so that's another question then. So, 2 options. Either you look to gank them here because they're overplaying, and you can look to get a successful gank opportunity. If that doesn't happen, you go back to top lane, and I would look to push this all the way into the tier 2 turret, gain tempo like that, and try to make a similar play happen. But I don't believe Aatrox, and this is what I mentioned earlier, can really progress well into a side lane. If you're like a Gwen, you're a Fiora, what else is in your champion pool? Like a Yorick, right? You could perhaps kill them and look to progress onto this. But with Aatrox, it's just harder to really catch them off guard and kill them. Although he did use Flash and ult in the last fight. So what I would do here as a habit is actually walk through mid. If nothing happens, you just catch the mid wave. Or Yone catches it. And then from that point onwards, you're kind of allowed to choose wherever you want to go, dependent on how the map is being played out. That's
so
what I
if
would do.
So if I were Yorick in this instance and I had the same exact situation, you would still consider bot lane, even though I could push for that tier 2? Or
No, I think Yorick is different. Then you would go top lane. Because you want to be kind of in an isolated position always, right? You want to farm with your goose on the camps. You want to try and get push turrets. I think when you walk mid lane as Yorick, the odds of you getting a kill on Artie are slim to none. So no, as Yorick, I believe you always go top lane here.
Okay, so it's champion dependent on if I could actively threaten that tier 2 turret.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so here you walk to top lane, but then we pivot and go mid lane. So we lose a little bit of tempo. I don't think it's a mistake. Now we're all the way bot lane though. Okay, not a big fan of this because this is what I would refer to as a salvaging play. So right now, you have no idea necessarily about their item spikes, their summoners, their cooldowns on their abilities, like their ultimates. Okay, so we know Artie. That's all we know right here heading into this. This is a guaranteed wave that would grant us our second item. You could, so just before we make this play, guaranteed play would be to push this out into the tier 2, reset, have our hubris, go bot with tempo, play for the bot tier 1. We agree, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how this plays out, because this is a salvaging play. You're trying to salvage a play that has already gone wrong. Okay. How do you feel about this result-wise in the end?
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you there. What?
So, how do you feel about this decision and the result in the end?
Not very great.
Obviously.
It's always fun because that Talia wall was really good. The Jin stun was really good. I'm not mad about the death. I'm more mad about the decision making that led up to it. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what, like, I wouldn't also care too much about the execution here because that's going to be different always, right? Sometimes these fights will go well. Sometimes these fights are going to be horrible. The difference between, let's say, a challenger player and a master player, I would also describe as let's say, the consistency in their decisions. And this is just a decision that is sometimes going to make you look like a beast. And very often you're going to end up with this. But if we draw the game back, let's say 2 minutes, right here, at 1430, you're 126 CS, right? Okay, you gotta get this wave as well. So 1430, we're 133 CS, and you're on top of the world. 9 CS per minute, you're about to get your second item, you're expending it properly. 2 minutes later, or maybe even 3 minutes later, you see you're still at the same farm. Exactly the same one. So these past 3 minutes, you've basically done nothing besides die twice. And now Artie is randomly a level higher than us, which I believe was absolutely impossible if we draw the game back to here. Remember, they didn't really have a win condition when we went back to lane. So these past 3 minutes slowed you down a lot, and these are the decisions that made you kind of somewhat lose control of the game. We're not out of the game by any means. Also here, genuinely, I would sell my Dornus item always here and get my hubris, because you save yourself a lot of tempo. Because if you leave base right now, like 200 gold away from your item, what you're gonna have to do is go back into the lane, get your item, recall, and then go into the lane again. That's 2 minutes worth of tempo, or 1.5 minutes that you could save right now by just selling your D-shield and getting your item. And then you're on the map with 2 items, and you can progress again. Okay, I believe pushing this is good, and then you want to go to bot lane. Exactly. But now again, you kind of want to set up your recall too. This guy has 2 items, 6 and 1. You're completely fine though. She had no ult from the mid lane play. I mean, she might have it now again. Okay, let's see. You're also pressing tab here. So we see Yoda's actually beating the set, which is amazing. Okay, who is our win condition?
Definitely Ari, and then most likely next would be Jin. I would kind of count Talia out.
Why would you count Talia out?
I would count. Maybe not. I'd
She's
say
almost...
Jin is.
Yeah, sorry. She's almost on par with the goal of Ari, if you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would actually say she's a big threat for you too. Mm-hmm. And I think Talia kind of counts as your champion as a whole as well. Now, what is your win condition?
Me and Diana.
And side lane and dragons.
Oh.
Right? Because your Yon just killed Seth in the 1v1 side lane. This guy is out of the game completely. So if you're able to progress on side lane, either you or Yon will always be beating this set. You have 2 dragons, third one coming up. And yes, Diana and you are 100% correct. Okay, so let's see how you progress from here. You're still in control of the game here, even though we lost 3 minutes of tempo. And 3 minutes, it might sound minor, but it's game breaking, right? 3 minutes of no resources when you were 7-0 is not what you want, but you still haven't lost control of the game. You're still on par with this Ahri. But now, this is what I referred to earlier. You have to reset now and get back on the map. And now your intention is to move mid here. Why is that? Dragon probably, right?
Everyone's NA ramming it right now.
Okay. And I think also perhaps because of Dragon. So I think your decision here is completely fine. But also testing your your decision. Okay, this sucks. Did you end up killing her? Oh, and she kills the Yon too. What is going on? Okay, Diana's in the backline, killed up the Ahri. Alright. Yeah, here I would also argue that the fight is just over. Right? You don't have ult, you do have your flash. You can look for it. Guaranteed play. Pushing mid. Perhaps getting the tier 1. Or else getting top and stopping the set as well. You're basically wasting your tempo here on 2 champions that are yeah, I don't like this play. And I'm saying this in hindsight now, like I'm Captain Hindsight. But I believe the way more consistent play again is for you to just push mid. You don't have ult, you're half a champion here. You know that too. Plus you're losing tempo whilst set is hitting your doors, right? So I would push in the mid wave here. I'd look for the mid tier 1, if not possible. Then I just go top lane, push that out, and reset my tempo again. Because now you've kind of gotten everything you wanted. These kills genuinely wouldn't even make a difference in this game. Okay. Unlucky. So, sir.
It's always so awkward looking at the games after the fact.
I understand that. It's hard, right? But if we look at this one thing now, do you remember how much farm we had at 1430?
Yeah, we only went up 10 CS.
Yes. Now you see very clearly where it went wrong, right? And at 20, let's say 30, you've gotten 6 CS. That's 1 wave. You inted respectfully 3 turns of tempo, 3 decisions in a row. So first we proxy farmed, right? And the death was a 1k shutdown. I believe it was too greedy, but that is okay. It's like okay. It happens. Sometimes you're gonna make a mistake. I don't think it was game breaking because it got on the set. If it went on Talia, it was a different issue. Then instead of pushing top lane, getting tempo, you salvaged the play here. That went wrong. Then we never farmed and we went for another fight mid. That actually ended up being good. So I also said, before the fight happened, I believe your move was good because you're playing for third dragon, right? But then after the fight happened, you entered all the way to here. We haven't farmed. We're just going full ghetto brawl. And now I would argue you don't control this game anymore. You're not in control of the game anymore. Only Diana really is. So you're playing from Diana now. Oh. I dislike the intention of this TP. And that is because right now Baron is up. And remember, we are actually winning side lane. So if you go side lane and get it to push out onto here, you can always have pressure around the map and do stuff. Now with this, you lose that opportunity. Okay, this death, I'm not going to fault you for. I think your TP intention was just... Oh, wait, you're going back in. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. It's okay. We move past it. I'm not gonna lecture you on this one. I think you know exactly what was wrong.
Yeah.
But you see very clearly where you've lost control of this game. I think right now, the rest of the game, we don't have to watch because you've already learned, I believe, everything you had to learn from this game. You don't control anymore right now. Now it's just going to be a matter of looking to play out. So how do you feel about rewatching this right now?
Not amazing.
Okay, I'll
also doesn't help. I have a really needy cat on my mouse right now.
I'll reverse it though. I actually think it's not bad at all here. I think these mistakes that you made are very easy to fix, and it's a matter of being aware of a few like concept, which is don't salvage plays that are very already lost. You were 2 people down before that fight, right? So I don't like the intention of salvaging there. Playing tempo towards your items was another one, because remember, even here already I mentioned that I would rather go top lane. Where is it? Right here. No, not here, because you died. Here, I'd rather go top lane, so that you can get your hubris and go bot lane. Remember? So we would have our hubris at around minute 17. You end up getting it around like minute 19, I believe. Yeah, a little bit early, like a little bit later, right? Like 80-40, you have it. So you could have sped up your progression by like minutes multiple times. So first of all, once we have that lead in lane, you don't have to only progress through killing him. You put this guy out of the game. He was out of completely out of the game. You didn't have to kill him again, but you kept looking to do so in order to get the turret, but you don't have to. We talked about that. Then expanding your lead from that point onwards, just getting tempo on side waves, playing down to shut down their potential win conditions or their win conditions. And then, yeah, don't look for those salvaging plays. I think that's what really costs you. And once a team fight is quote unquote over, aka you've used your key abilities, don't look to keep chasing for kills, especially when those kills would lead into nothing.
That was nice.
Good.
Right before I go on to the next game, can I ask you a quick question?
Yep.
So did they change local gold? This is a Yorick-based question. Did they change how local gold works with like Maiden or no? Because I remember at the beginning of Split, like season 14, it wouldn't grant you gold unless Yorick himself was in the range, but now it's doesn't matter. As long as Maiden takes the turret, you get the gold.
I'm actually not sure. That's a question I don't know. That's a good question. I actually have no idea. Sorry, you'd have to test that in like a custom game or in a game and see if you get the value. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to flip it.
Oh no, hold on.
Do you prefer
I'm very
to
much outside local.
Oh, sorry.
Local gold. Oh, I'm just very much outside local gold.
Are you streaming? Oh, okay, let me take a look. Oh yeah, so it works. Okay, interesting. But honestly, the amount of scenarios that you're gonna get like this are slim to none, right? I don't think you ever really release made it anymore.
No, it's very troll.
Game 2? Or do you have another preference?
I have I think I know what I did wrong in game 3, so yeah, game 2 works perfect.
Okay, let's go.
Also, very much thank you for the Mundo recommendation. Very fun champion.
Oh, I see. You're definitely abusing him. It's a great champion, right? It's this is also like right here. If I'm playing into their comp, I just think it's kind of over if you farm even and you get a matchup where you can farm even. So I'm curious to see how you're gonna play this one.
And Sinch is a very much even CS because he proxies then.
Exactly. You don't have to lane against him pretty much after a certain state. Okay. I wouldn't look for an extended fight though. So here I believe you're making a big blunder. He's playing Conqueror Flash Ghost, right? And his Q is actually like Singed is deceptively strong in the early game because his Q is constant. So okay, well you're before mean spawn, but I would just Q him here and like keep my range. But I guess you're perhaps looking for a grass walk. Let's see. Okay, then you get your recoil, so that's fine. Let's see how you play this out. You got the pink suit, you're based. This skin makes you just more broken. It's a fact. All good.
Yeah, Sinch's level 1 clear is so good because he just
there is no counterplay
on
to
all the
that.
minions.
You also don't really mind it. One thing you could have perhaps looked for is to auto-tech this minion. No, he's also walking with the wave. I believe he shouldn't hit this, yeah. You could have had that. QE, auto E, you have this minion. Auto E. It's dead. I'm gonna highlight those because farming on Mundo is just so important. Okay, so I don't like that E because you're gonna miss both, but that's also probably a knowledge thing, right? So yeah, here you could actually. Okay, we're gonna go micromanaging on this because I believe you're just supposed to. So this first one, you're not really sure where it's gonna go. I would probably predict this one, so I would just hit any minion now once, any minion, because the turret shot isn't going yet, right? So you can hit any minion once to set it up for last hit. Then this one you Q auto, then you hit another minion and you're gonna be fine. Make sense?
Yeah.
But now you lost like 3 minions that you should have gotten. There we go. That's better.
On this wave, it's so sad because he lets one minion go by and he griefs me too. Unfortunately.
He grieves you with that?
Yeah, because the minion comes in and hits the 2 casters.
Oh no. I see, but you can fix that already here. How would you fix it?
Well, I have W and E up. I could just W E the bat casters into each other and then W
Yeah,
Q.
I would probably also E like so, right?
Mhm.
And then W on, and maybe you have to Q this one, or you W prox it, and you can get everything here.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is annoying. We're also talking hindsight now. Yeah. Okay, I see what's gonna happen. Oh, okay, that is actually... That's a tilted, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, and now you try... Okay, you actually froze this. I like this. So you don't give him a free reset here. You make him lose a wave. I like that. I'm probably looking for a 900 gold base here. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna sift through this because this is full boarding. I'm not gonna micromanage on every last hit. And you get this in perfect. No, I would still... So now you actually lose HP. I think this is fine. Like, just build Giant's Belt here, nothing else. And just TP back. I don't think you need a pink ward. It slows down your... okay, good. You end up not having it, but I would just go Giant's Belt. It's actually more HP than double Ruby Crystal.
Mhm.
See, I would let this crash. I think you're trying to like crash, but I would just let him crash and I would start proxy farming myself too. You just speed up your own progression curve.
Is it better to not let Singed like proxy with the wave, or is it better for...
Well, even if he proxies or doesn't proxy, I don't think the result is different. What are you looking to gain by not letting him proxy?
Yeah,
Grass strokes?
it's super annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, grass strokes is like the
Definitely
only argument perhaps. But even then, I think it's hard to get those. So just let him
Mm-hmm.
proxy, because you can start proxying yourself, and that speeds up your progression curve too. Right, so now, exactly, you could ult through his turret, and just, for example, that's what that's what I would have considered. But now you're actually a little bit late, so you're gonna get this, and then you should set up your reset as well. Okay, beautiful. Okay, you go for the plate. I think it's a little bit of a greedy decision, because you're gonna be stuck in lane now, but it's not necessarily bad, because that's the only way you could have got to the plate, and now you set up your reset. Okay, that's fine. You're in a good spot here. You're not looking to overchase, as you shouldn't. Beautiful, you actually get a kill too. And that's going to result into one more plate, so your Warmux is very fast here. You get a plate? No, you don't. He's back. Okay. I'm sifting through this because we're not going to learn much from this, right? It's very standard Sinch gaming. The only mindset I have is how do I min-max my own resource income as fast as possible. I think 80 CS at this timer is okay. I kind of have a ballpark, let's say like a mark that I want to have. If I have around 10 CS or 80 CS at around minute 10, I'm pretty satisfied. Anything above that, like 85, 90, is a very good laning phase, but 80 is like a good laning phase. Alright, and after this, you should set up your Warmux to get reset. Or you're probably looking to teleport. Okay, and then we don't even need to teleport. Well, sir, I would believe this game is unlosable from this point onwards, so I'm very curious as to what's going to happen.
I can spoil it now, but...
Why are we not recalling? Okay,
Oh, you
greedy recall.
W'd me.
Okay, yeah, you're greedy recalling. No, we're not spoiling anything. Wait, do you have your Warmux? Did you check? You do have it. Okay, good. So this is okay. Proxy farm. Why are we not proxy farming?
Is it better to just like walk through turret?
Absolutely.
Like,
what's gonna happen? You're scared of losing a little bit of HP?
It is so weird to do that and just think, oh yeah, this is fine.
Okay, so it's counterintuitive to like your normal idea.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I would do that because who's gonna kill you? Nobody. And it speeds up your own progression curve, because once you farm the wave here, you see it gives you a lot more time to make something happen on the map. Because then you can look for this camp, or perhaps you can even roam mid on the wave when, for example, Jace is doing this, and you get this full turret. But you don't get these opportunities because you're not playing for tempo. So you're always kind of behind the play. Whereas if you're doing the same thing as Sinches, where you push one wave here and move, or you push one wave even here, you're even faster. Actually, I don't think it saves you that much time because you have to take this path thing. You would have a lot more opportunities to play the map. Okay, you get the wave. But Sinch died because of your team, not because of you. So you get the turn. Beautiful. Bot lane turret is also falling. So I would farm this wave and I'd be running bot lane already.
If there is a different champion here, would it be worthwhile to...
No.
I just lost my train of thought.
No, you were going to say, would it be worthwhile to stay top lane instead of going bot lane? That's, I believe, what you're going to say.
I think so, yeah.
And I would say no. Because the amount of resources that you are able... Okay, maybe if this is like something that genuinely cannot hold you, then I would say yes. But here, by recalling, you allow, I guess, Jace to go top, Lucian to go mid, you can go bot, play for the bot tier 1, potentially bot tier 2 as well. What's the next neutral enemy team is going to play for? Probably Herald. So whilst they're playing for that, you are perfectly in bot lane here. Right?
Yeah.
Much prefer that option instead.
Sorry, I'm writing things down.
No worries. If you need me to take a minute sometimes, right? Because I'm going more so fast, just tell me. Because I know I can really start yapping fast. Okay? You end up ulting ghosting away. But you see again that your tempo decisions here are suboptimal, to say the least.
So is it better to just ignore the team realistically on a super hard scaling champion like Mundo and instead play for my own tempo instead of playing for
100%. What are you going to gain from staying here? Tell me how tempo works out right now for your team and enemy team. Explain me what you're seeing with the same information that I have.
So right now, of course, Herald's up. His blue side camps are coming up. Drags down already. Both mid tier 1 and bot tier 1 are down. So bot lane's most likely not going to go mid from now on. It's going to be better if I side lane on that just because it's way easier to gain gold that way. Because Singe is probably a dingus and is going to farm probably by proxy.
He's a dingus. That's a new term for me. Okay, I think you mentioned some good things and some things that I want to highlight more to understand your tempo and teammates' tempo and enemy tempo. So right now, there's tempo on the map, quote unquote, because Alistar Smolder are dead. But there's actually no tempo because as you can see, this wave is pushed into you guys, this wave is pushed into you guys. So you can't do anything with their death timer. What is your bot lane going to do in the next 30 seconds?
Oh, definitely recall.
Definitely recall. You're doing the same thing. And whilst they're going to be recalling, you're already walking to bot lane, not giving them an option. You need this side lane. Then, enemy bot lane is going to go into mid. Your team has to recall, also going to go into mid. And now Jace would basically collect this wave, and you ping him to go top lane, because Sinch is going to start pushing this wave. So you ping Jace to collect this and go top. You ping the Ju go mid, and you ping in bot lane to go mid. That's it. And then everybody's fine with tempo, nobody loses out, and you're able to progress on side lane. And if then they play for Herald, which is a very likely assumption, you get this tier 1, potentially the tier 2. You see here how I'm arguing the tempo for everybody on the map and giving them all a role?
Yeah.
And that's how you have to start thinking. But by you staying here, what is a potential gain?
Well, because I'm forcing a play here, they could easily look at Herald here because there's their mid jungler off the map as well.
Who are you saying? So you say your team could look for Herald by you making a play here?
Oh, the enemy team could.
Oh, okay,
for
okay.
Herald.
So you're trying to get them off the Herald?
No.
So what?
I think I was just looking to shove that lane in under turret and then leave.
I see. You see here why it's suboptimal, and after this, it's completely fine to leave already. Okay. And I guess because you're saying theoretically, I always yap about it's so good if you get the wave to crash into the tier 2 turret, right? Which is correct. But here, Sinch is gonna push it back straight away, anyway, so you're not getting into a bleeding side wave. Plus, you need to play tempo here, so you kind of have to, how would I say this? Adjust and be more so what is the word that I'm looking for? Adaptive. You're actually in almost the same shoes you were in the Aatrox game. You see here, 146 minute 15 almost.
I bet
This
if
is the
you skip 10 minutes, I'm probably going to go up like 20 farm.
yeah. So I mean, this is already your first blunder because you're not really progressing here. You also have Altered Ghost. Ends up being a full fight, so you get tempo here. But I think you're lucky in a way too. Again, you can get this. You don't have grubs. I would have gone bot lane. Very okay. Now we're going bot lane. No, we're not. Oh, you are. Hey, what is this? Okay, go bot lane, bro. This guy's out. Please push. Push. What are we doing? You know me. You being bot gives you more resources than killing this Smolder even would. Okay, never mind. He is a shutdown. Okay, you win. But Singh is getting the top lane turret in the meantime. And Lucian is bot lane now, and we're back to top lane. What happened here? Sir?
Well, if I stayed bot, I get probably guaranteed at least 500 gold worth of just 500 gold. I
Worth of
risk going
CS? Yeah. You would get, like, I would, in your shoes, 100% of the time, already have recalled here, right? You got into the tier 2. Look at that side away from bot lane. And there's already Scourge happening mid. Base TP bot. So it doesn't necessarily look like it, but you've lost kind of 2 minutes here worth of tempo. You'd agree with me on that one, right? Now in hindsight.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh.
And now we go bot lane. I think looking for the kill here. Sometimes it's going to be worth it. I just think here, yeah, the rest of the reward is just not there, but you do get the mid tier 1. But I would have pivoted and gone bot lane here. But now Lucian is there. You also want to ping him away, which makes sense. So you reach the top side and you don't go for the hearts too. You get a tier 2 turret, which makes sense. This is completely fine. This is absolutely correct. You don't see him. Now, the thing is, if you would see Singh here, I want you to insta recall, kind of. No, wait, do you have Demolish proc ready? No. What you're doing is 100% correct. Here, I'm simply wrong. So you get a tier 2, you live, and now you want to reset and go bot. Now we want to reset and go bot. We kind of want to reset and go bot. Okay.
Greeting.
Yeah. Holy. Alright, we forgot on a reset. And you go Spirit Visage, that's what I wanted to mention next. And yeah, okay. Well, we're here, 21 minutes in. This is okay. Now any team can never progress into you, and you can progress into their tier 2. So I would just communicate with your team that they have to chill, because at level 16, you solo carry this game. Get your Heartsteel stacks. Hello? We hate extra ID and HP. Get that Heartsteel stack right there. And trade him. The more you trade him here, the more you set him up to dive him as well. You could trade more than half his HP there. You can get auto E in, another Q, and a Heartsteel proc. That guy's below half HP. Then he cannot defend the turret. You had a free opportunity to chunk him below half. You gotta utilize that Warmux in the side lane too, for those reasons. Trade him. What are we scared of? He's not gonna kill you. There we go. He can't kill you. And now you both have HP, he lost his ultimate, and you're gonna be completely fine. Chugging some Qs. If he keeps chasing, you're gonna be able to kill him.
I don't miss anything.
Okay, it's still fine. You have Warmux. Okay, your whole team died. This is out of your control, by the way. Yeah, I mean, your whole team just dies and they get Baron. Well, no, this day. That's the one thing I dislike about Mundo as well. It's just like those scenarios you kind of can't control besides telling your teammates that they shouldn't take a fight like that. I guess the smallest 13-2, so he's a little bit too much of a threat for your team to deal with. Okay, we're tipping in without our ult, so you're... Yeah, you know for yourself, this is a very risky play. So you're playing it more, more slow. Honestly, I think right now the reason you're losing is more so out of your control. It's been more on your team. You've spent 2 minutes, quote unquote, wasting tempo, but I cannot expect you to have the same macro understanding as me. And I don't believe any other, other than that you have made mistakes, right? You are 2-0, 236 at minute 25. You're a level 15 Mundo. You've done almost everything right. I do think you could have gotten more resources in your laning phase through proxying. And, I just want to highlight the 420 healing here. But if not through getting more resources in laning phase, I believe you've done very fine, right? This should put you in a good position consistently. I like the way you've approached this to get the guy below half HP as well. And now, how did that guy just get one shot? He walks into the poison and this. Okay, well that's unlucky. Okay, enemy team also throws it. Go bot lane right now. Very good. Yeah, they're gonna get Baron. You're gonna get the tier 2 and maybe the tier 3. But your whole team dies for it again. It's hard for you to play this game as well, man. You're gonna be level 16, 4 items. Oh, no, I would go armor here. Look at their win condition, bro. It's smolder. You need armor. You actually don't need any damage here.
I was thinking more so on the fact that I could maybe try and
One shot to
kill
smolder.
Smolder before he's
I see. I don't think it's bad thought process. I just think you being level 16 and having that armor option would probably make you more durable, thus allowing you to do more damage to him too. At the same time, he's level 16, 4 items. I don't know how realistic it is, but what you have to memorize, and why I'm saying you played this game very well, is that this guy has 17 kills and he's 4 items, and you're 3 kills and you're 4 items too. So you've played a very good game here. If you play like this consistently, like you will climb very fast. Yeah, there's just little to do, man. The enemy team is too strong. Okay, and your team is too weak. I don't think you can fault yourself for anything this game. There was ways to speed up our progression curve and perhaps put us in a little bit better position, but your team just ran it down multiple times as a 4-man. Few things to do. All right. You said game 3 you kind of understand. Let's move to game 4.
Yeah, because game 3 I was playing against like an Emerald Aurelia. It was kind of more so around the fact that it was like an Aurelia 1 trick or something like that. I was trying something I've never done in my life before, which is make sure that I'm the one that zones it for the first 3 melees worth of XP.
Okay.
I've never done that before in my life, and I tried it, and I ended up going like 0-5 or something like that.
We can look at how you did it in terms of execution.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think it was fun. I tried it. We both have Ignite. I think the mistake I made here is just trying to fight her. I could just look to just progress through getting the wave in faster, making sure.
I don't think this is a mistake. Oh, she does flash it though. Oh, but you still win, I think. Ignite her. You have to ignite.
Even there, I ignite here?
Yeah. It's a committing. Like, so the reason you ignite here is because she's committed now.
Yeah, because you can't Q away. It's like
yeah, she's not running away here. This is an all-in. You put your potion on and you ignite here, you win. Potion and ignite. She can never get her passive. You get your passive. Her flashing this is perfect, but even here you should win. Potion on and ignite, you win. Because you would phase check, set check her here, right? So she would be a little bit lower. You do one more auto, you get your... I mean, you would get your passive, so you'd probably win. But now, yeah, you've put your game in a flip position, and she gets the priority. Now you're cooked. Because she gets the bounce in. She gets the time to crash. Ooh, you take a bad trade here. Oh, yeah, you're cooked. Oh, okay, now the game's over from here. There's nothing to replay anymore. Game's over first 4 waves. You know what happened.
Yeah. I was very carryable. I was doing nothing, but I still won the game, so worth.
Well, so the last 2 games you were doing amazing, and you lost, and this game you won. So I would say it's a theory. It's still playing theory.
It's just one of those 20% of games where you can win no matter what happens, and there's another 20% of games you're just destined to lose no matter what happens.
That was the Mundo game. That's one of those 20% of games. Okay, you go D-Shield Yorick. I never played D-Shield Yorick. Well, I guess only against range. But especially against melee, I would never go D-Shield Yorick.
I'm more so just playing super passive when it comes to Darius, because just in case he's able to like get me with a good trade, I can make sure I'm at least healing up a little bit.
Yeah, you're playing trade avoidant, but Doran's Blade allows you to sustain a shit ton, right? Because it gives you healing, and it also helps with your Q healing. You just heal a lot more when playing D-Blade. The more AD you have, the more your Q heals you. You have healing in the D-Blade as well. I believe in terms of sustain, because how often realistically is Darius going to hit you where you're going to be able to use the D-Shield healing? Not that much. D-Blade probably ends up healing you more through the laning phase.
Yeah, that's fair. I might start doing that a lot more then.
Yeah, I think that's what I play D-Blade Yorick almost every game. I just think it's more consistent. And even though you're not trying to be a threat, you are still a threat with that D-Blade, by the way. You can still be a threat. This is an amazing ward. The Eastart is theory here. And, well, you're just gonna get pushed in. So you've done everything right. You did the ward. You don't let Shove get cheesed. I will say, buddy, your theoretic approach to the game is very, very good. Like, I definitely see that you have soaked up a lot of knowledge. You're ranked Q ready, as they would say. I'm very curious to see how it's gonna go. Please get the cannon.
My MMR is so bad though.
That's gonna be fine. You don't have...
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to hear that from your mouth, man. You've never played rank. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. Calm down, buddy.
That's true.
You're already getting the coping. No. My first season was season 3, and I believe back then, there was like +9 existed. It was not boot. It was terrible. Okay, looks like this guy... Okay, so you're trying to hard push this. You're getting a trade here. Look, with D-Blade, for example, here. I believe you almost kill him here with D-Blade.
Oh, definitely. I was more so just worried he was gonna like walk back and E me and then walk away.
But you're fine with that, by the way. If you W him here and auto Q, like, you win in the extended fight as well. There's no way he can auto attack 4 of your ghouls. And they stay aggroed. So here, if you have D-Blade with 4 ghouls, you W him, you beat him up here.
Even when I'm weak sided and the jungle could be up here.
Okay,
I don't know where the jungle started.
okay, that's a different story. Okay, he's coming into top side. No, you're right. No, we're definitely not trying to fight him here. Okay, sorry, I was not paying attention to the jungler here.
Oh, you're...
There's a good chance you're getting ganked here as well, which is why you're playing max range. Okay, you're playing like a beast. Yeah, you played this so clean. You might have to flash. Yeah. Diana can look to go top lane right now. Oh no, she's just leaving you on your island. You've played this weak side setup so extremely clean here. I believe your jungler has already recalled and is on tempo here, and enemy jungler still needs to get in his recall. So even though it sucks what you had to basically sustain here, look, your jungler is already reset and is starting his second clear. Like, your jungler is so far ahead from what you've done. Holy, what is this purchase? You don't go Sheen?
I'm not a big Sheen York, like Triforce York person.
Okay, but this is about the worst purchase you can do in terms of gold value.
Oh, really?
Yes, because like, you're paying 400. So Ruby Crystal is pretty gold efficient. You're paying 400 for 150 gold, right? And now you're paying 400 for 50. Sorry, this is HP. And now you're getting 50 HP, and you're gaining, what is it? 10 ability haste. But you need AD and Sheen in order to be useful on this champion. Those are your stats you want, right? Survivability is fine, but then if you want survivability, go boots cloth armor. I don't think you ever build Kindle Gem. I suppose you're going for Cleaver then?
Yeah, Cleaver, Shojin for the 2 main.
Okay, I would stick to boots. What's it called? Boots and cloth armor. But else, I would still say that double longsword is infinitely better, and that is because, again, the more AD you have, the more you're gonna be healing. The more you can fight back, the easier it is to farm on the turret. All those benefits you lose here. Really nice W. You make it hard for him to crash. You just have no kill pressure here. If you have double longsword, you force his flash out here if you land the W, which you can. You're not walking. You're not spacing properly, but here, E W or even W E, and you have to burn his flash.
That's fair.
When you have double longsword, let's say you had D-Blade double longsword, would any of these trades have looked different? He never traded you, and all your all-in timers would have actually perhaps led into kills, right? So you're going to the passive here, dependent on the champion. Okay, you end up getting your reset in. You're doing amazing, by the way, because you're smurfing weak side the whole game. Like, he hasn't got this reset in. You're pretty much even. Beautiful. You get a plate. This guy's stuck in lane. I was gonna say you should set up your reset here as well. Oh, your team is 0-6 behind. Lovely.
This is a game we also lose.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, never mind. Your team's getting back. Okay. Again, 80 says at minute 10. You're very consistent. It's very good to see.
It is so nice when Wifey takes turret. Cannon for you. It's so nice.
Yep. Okay.
And this is greedy for me, trying to get a ward and trying to look where he is. And I already know Darius is missing. I'm already dead here.
Yeah, there's no escape. I mean, I don't think we have to comment much on this. I think your intention of warding is good, but you're going so deep. Like, I'd much rather have a shell.
Walk away.
Yeah, I just ward here. Like, that ward already shows both camps. You don't need more info than that, and get this and get out, right?
Yeah.
Just a more shallow ward would be fine. Okay, you get your pickaxe in. You hard push this, which is good, so it bounces back. And now you're waiting for Cleaver reset. How much gold is Cleaver? The finished component?
Like 420 or something like that.
Is it actually 420? Because I have not bought Cleaver once since it's been nerfed to the ground. Yeah. 225.
That's 2. Oh, geez.
I was about to say. So here, after this, reset. Getting that full item is infinitely better than staying on the lane here.
Should I look to crash it first or just immediately?
No, you crash it and you recall. But again, you speed up your progression curve by recalling here. Because you get your item. What happens when you don't recall here? Darius is gonna
lane with Darius.
Exactly, he's gonna push it into your turret, and then it's gonna bounce, and then you have to play out the bounce without your cleaver. Good luck. Okay.
Yeah, and the matchup is just unplayable once I get cleaver too for him. If I have maiden at least. I think that's true for like one item, but.
Well, I think after your first recalls and the way you're playing, if you had a more aggressive setup, I can see a world where you would have gotten a solo kill or something like this. You just played the matchup too passive in terms of itemization.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna hit level 11.
I think he dies here. Oh yeah, most definitely.
W, instant reaction. Oh.
Missed E, it's fine. There's 2 ghouls on his ass.
Yeah, I mean, your champ is, you even hit everything, it just does not matter, okay? Perfect, you get a turret, you can start expanding your lead. I would take homies here and grab Herald.
I think I'm only going to have one with me.
Yeah, but you could have probably, could you have gotten new homies? That's a Q right here. That's a Q. Oh no, it's not a Q?
The maiden was too close, I think. She started walking, I don't think.
Yeah, but if you Q this, you get... So you have your passive and your Q here. So this one, this could have been one Q, right? You can set this up. That should have been a Q, right? That should have been a Q as well. Or your passive hit. That's you can get 3 Qs here, you get 3 homies, you get the Herald here. It's a matter of thinking ahead. You didn't Q one of these means. That's the only one you've Q'd. So you could have got a Herald here. It's okay. Not the end of the world, but it's always, when you have maiden, you have to set up those Qs. Okay, this is massive, and you're instantly running top lane. I like it. You're gonna push this out. Second chance. Play for Herald. Else, recall, go bot.
Oh, this is where I think Darius just gets outskilled, I guess.
Oh, he face checks you? Oh. Wrong neighborhood. For you too.
Oh, and that was my bad. I only saw these 2 on map, so I was I was like, oh yeah, this is fine. It's 2v2, and I definitely win this.
Yeah, the Ezreal's are win condition, right? Okay.
Oh, I'm reading my flash.
It's okay. It's just like it's hard to really put a finger on these players, right? Because you go for Darius is okay. I think the Gromp was very instinctive to go for. You could argue, okay, just chug in your E and leave. But, okay, we actually do see them moving, though. Yeah, you should get the hell out. But it's also, like, you had to see that. And if you don't see that, you're dead. That's what happens.
I was also thinking, oh, they're just going to play for Drake, because Darius is dead. I don't think they're going to go up top for me. So
makes sense. They're actually all 4 top. So I don't, like, I can't fault you too much for this decision. And we got Volter 1 in the meantime. Okay. So, yeah, you're just split pushing top. Chug it on there. Nice. You're going to get this. Beautiful.
Is it better to be bot there because the ADC died and Darius got tier 2, or is it more worth to get Herald here?
Oh. Well, I mean, that's a good question, actually. Let me see. Misfortune is dead. That has no one, like... So Fizz should just go mid. Or sorry, should just go bot. He goes mid. I see. Here, if you recall... You're already too late though. I like the thing is here you're just saying should I stay or should I recall? Okay, Fizz is going bot. I guess here you could make that decision. Then you'd have to make a decision here. You see Fizz is going mid, now you have to recall.
Yeah, the Fizz is one of my my friends too. He is notorious for not farming.
Okay.
I think he went into a game. 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 I think he granted, the GP mid that he was facing got 2 kills right off the rip, was 2-0, and I think he had 39 CS at like 15 minutes.
Oh my days.
I don't mind. It's totally fine, but it was
Just
my
don't queue up with him
job
in
to-
ranked. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's
No,
toxic.
No, he's a very, very good Katarina player. He's a very, very good like mid laner for like killing in general. But oh my god, if he CS'd, I think he could actually be like challenger.
Okay, so he's just like mechanical genius. Here, I would say it's fine for you to recall because I believe you have Sojourn in base as well. If you sell your Dorons, yes. So in hindsight, 100% you should have recalled and got to the tier 2. But I can also understand, kind of from your perspective, why it was a hard decision to make. Simply because you kind of saw Fizz going bot lane, right? It's definitely a weird scenario. But now you lose bot tier 2, you lose top tier 1. Tricky. I think it's very instinctive to look for that. Does he have Phase Rush?
Yeah.
If he does, yeah, so you should have waited with your E. Do you know how Phase Rush works?
Yeah, it's after 3 procs. I don't know how he dies here either because he leaves my screen and he dies.
Oh, wow.
But...
Okay, you do get him, so that's massive. Now you get to push this out all the way. Okay, you play tempo with the bolt with the Herald. I think it's a good decision. So now I would spawn out the Herald and probably get both turret. Oh, there's no turret here. Okay, never mind. Why did we not look to E? I guess he's too far away, right? No, he just didn't E. Using your melee range here. For sure.
that's E range right there.
This is like E range for 3 seconds.
Definitely.
Okay, we end up moving here. You get a Herald. Okay, yeah, we do the Herald. Oh, you already placed it. So you get the first turret here. You get the second turret. Okay. What's the tech behind Sojin and the Liandry's? I'm actually not familiar with this.
So it was something that I think it was like mid-season, like mid-last patch. It was something. I think it's Slogdog is his name.
Yes.
He brought up the fact that you're just building for full ghoul, like setup and damage with this build because you're building the armor shred because they instantly get shred through Black Cleaver because they all jump and I think they all give a stack.
Yeah.
Shojin the same thing because the cooldown's a little easier with your E, and then Leandri is for the 2% bonus damage up to 6.
Okay, so do your goose like one shot?
I wouldn't say they one shot because this is a bad example. I don't have anything.
I was about to
now.
say you are not allowed to join this fight. It's a salvaging play. It already looks bad, and you don't have ult. This is a fight you are not allowed to join. If you push here, you get a tier 2 probably. This might be where you lose the game. This decision.
Oh, it definitely is. I agree. But the ghouls, realistically, it's a very good setup for like tanks. I had the first time I tried it, I had like a Sejuani that had like 200 armor and like 100 magic resistance. She got shredded in like 3 seconds.
Okay, this is a build I might actually try myself. I might try this. It actually looks very...
I don't know how good it is with Cleaver. I've tried it a couple of times. It seems like the damage is pretty good because... But I'd actually argue in like 9 out of 10 games, it's Lethality Yorick is still better.
Okay.
Just because Sorelda's is still pretty good.
Yeah, and Profane Hydra, right? Yeah, for wave clear. I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you adapt on the damage, but if you need, let's say, like some more AP damage in the draft, I can see this be decent, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just don't know why a lot of people build Sheen on Yorick to begin with. It just seems more so like an item to speed you up and make your Q deal more damage, but like 90% of Yorick's kit is kind of just built around his schools anyway.
I disagree. I think when you play D-Blade Sheen, you'd see a massive difference in how significant this Q damage actually is. So D-Blade Sheen, try it. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel a massive difference if you ever play that. If you play for like the Profane Hydra Rush, then of course you're playing around your goose. But I remember playing Sheen and your Q max, right? And boy, your Q is like, and it heals you a shit ton as well. It heals so much and it deals a lot of damage. So that's more so why you play it.
Too. Just to show you can actually probably switch Trinity with Black Cleaver then in that case. Just because of how bad it is. Maybe not.
I mean, I can see that. But yeah, actually, I believe that's what I did as well when I played Jordan the other day. Wait, did I? Or on Profane Hydra? No, I think I rushed Profane Hydra. I think I'm used to Profane Hydra rush, yeah. I think you staying sideline is your play here. This is a salvaging play again. You see your salvaging tendencies? Like, I would have stuck sideline. You're not getting anything here. You're salvaging way too often. Like here, you have no teleport, you're already late, just commit to the play you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now we just
So a lot of my problems seem to be salvaging plays that are already gone.
yes. Mostly.
Mhm.
You're always you're just yes, actually when I think about it, because when we look at these skirmishes too, like the skirmish here, the skirmish here now, you're always trying to clean up the mess your team made instead of committing to your own play.
Mhm.
Do you feel like because we haven't gotten those scenarios, do you feel like you're how to say this? Um a player that has a tendency to also salvage plays for like that jungler when they fight in the river, you're just very people pleasing, so to speak.
I'm a very big people pleaser, yes.
Because that's a
I
bad habit in League of Legends. Because if your jungler makes a mistake and you know it's a mistake or it's bad for you, and the outcome is very often going to be bad and you're still doing it, you're just doing it for the purpose of being a pleaser instead of knowing it's bad. And that's also very often the tendency I see when you're salvaging. You're salvaging
Mhm.
because you don't want your team to be mad at you, whilst you very often even know it's not going to be a good play for you.
I think this is a good showcase of damage too.
Yeah. Okay, all the damage is in your ghouls, right? Your Q isn't that significant, I suppose, with this.
Mhm. Yeah, you could probably easily change it too with the Trinity change, but then you'd probably need armor pen on like fourth maybe. Be pretty low magic resist.
Yeah, how would you
Just
finish the build normally here?
so right now I'm looking full defensive. I wouldn't look for like profane or anything like that. I'd look
But
for like
Profane wouldn't be bad, right?
no, I don't think it
Profane
would be bad.
Seraljas?
Mhm.
I think that'd be
So
interesting. I actually can't go Seraljas, Jeff Cleaver, never mind.
oh oh, you're talking about like like are you talking
Yeah.
about in game or just theoretically?
Yeah, I'm trying theoretically here. Like Profane, Sundead Sky, something like this. I think then you have a lot of damage from everywhere. Ooh,
Oh yeah. Some days I can hit my E, and some days I just cannot.
that's okay. I know what you mean.
The Poppy combo goes pretty hard because I create terrain and you just get slammed into it.
Yeah. Your damage actually still is pretty good. You have no goose here, but you actually still do a shit ton of damage. This guy also has 0 armor though.
Mhm.
So you're basically dealing true damage there with Cleaver. Yeah. I don't know. You're 2v5ing them. You get the dragon. Right now, I just feel like this game is kind of a messy position. So, very often when the game looks like this, when you press tab, you wouldn't say that there's like one win condition here, right? Everybody's kind of on 3 items. This game is very much dependent on whoever just gets like one good execution in the fight wins the game. So,
Mhm.
more so, the biggest Inter is gonna probably lose this game instead of the better player winning. I wouldn't go full defensive anymore. I don't think building defensive is gonna help you out that much. I think you just want more damage because it also like it just allows you to stay alive. So I would go for like profane and so that's kind of something like this. I don't think building these defensive items are going to really help you.
That's fair. And a large part of the team dying again.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Right now, I just don't think there's too much theoretical to like go into. Again, no, it makes sense that you're trying to defend this. You have to. It's just like somebody your team dies, somebody enemy team dies. It's just so flip. Okay, now you're bot lane. I like this. Do you beat him though with those 2 defensive items? I'd be surprised if you do. Okay, wow, wasn't even close. Wow, you actually just shred him. What the fuck? You have 200 AD. That's like so little, by the way. I mean, you do have 4 goose, I guess.
Yeah, the ghoul damage ramp's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that you win this. Like, if you have Prof and Hydra on that sky, that guy dies 3 seconds earlier.
Oh, definitely. Just take off the really bad thing too. The bad item in there
Yeah.
with Black Cleaver. Yeah, but if you take Black Cleaver out, most likely.
Well, I don't think Cleaver is necessarily like a terrible item. I just think right now with how hard nerfed it is and like how I don't know the build path towards it just kind of feels iffy. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well this was a good turn. Now it's a matter of who's gonna get soul point. I mean you're surfing on them for sure. And do you get soul point? Do they get soul? Okay, we got the soul. You see, there's just not much to learn. I would just adapt your build to go more damage here. That's all. You're pushing top lane
Yeah.
now. You had a
First
lose in
choice
this game, you
work.
said.
Oh yeah, definitely. We also not we yeah, the build is just really fun because it's just I sit there and I just don't die. I just
I
don't
can
deal
see that,
damage
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd rather go for the damage-oriented build always. Okay, I mean we're not really learning much from this game. I guess we just take one bad fight and we lose the game. You don't really adapt the build. No.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all good. How do you feel right now, boss?
A lot better. Very good insight, and I appreciate that. I'm probably gonna try and like practice throughout season like split 3 because I'm also in college right now, so I'm gonna try and make myself a lot more ready for the next split or like season 15 start. Wait for like a week for like the builds to get figured out, and then I'll start ranked then.
Okay, so you're not starting split 3. Why not? I guess because of college. Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
But it's interesting. Just I really wish I could have shown you GP because that's the one character I'm like, oh yeah, I can play this game. I can play this game no matter what happens.
Banger, so you're like a new Solar Baka, ready to get shaped.
No, nowhere near Solo Rocket. I would get
Okay.
my ass kicked.
Well, I'm very happy to see your gameplay. I think, generally speaking, you have a very good theoretic understanding of how the game is supposed to be played out, and I think your description of yourself, in the sense that you are lacking in macro and tempo, was pretty accurate. But like I said, I think we've shown some like habits that you have, and if you fix those, I think they're pretty easy to fix. I think the game that showcases that the best is actually the Aatrox game. That's the best one for you to review. And yeah, do you have any questions for me?
Thank you for going over, especially. I appreciate that. I'll probably do like another like session or two in the future, and I'll reach out with like questions if I need to, but I probably won't. Rather
Okay.
not bother you.
I mean, I won't feel bothered, but like I said, if you want to keep me posting your progression, I'm satisfied with that.